This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel. Over there in the frozen tundra known as Arizona is my pal Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
It is quite the mess out here, but we will get to that in just a second. If you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us at a more convenient time, some people would say never, but if you are happening to listening at a different time on a different platform, Apple, Spotify, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do said program, go over to our live rooms over at YouTube and Twitch. Still got to figure out the Twitch thing because I think that price increase is coming soon, and I think we might just bail on that. But for now, you can find us on both those platforms, all under It's Eric Nagel. And if you missed the live show and you want to see the video for everything that you missed, it's all available on our YouTube channel. Jordan, it is hot as shit here. It should not be that way, but alas, it is.
Yeah. Welcome to my world. Except you're going to get the humidity. I'm just getting that dry, disgusting, feels like an oven heat.
Yeah, you get that thing when you walk outside and the sun just instantly burns you to death.
Just the tans constantly.
I left the temperatures about to rise here. I mean, we're talking weather. Who gives a shit? Going to Texas. I was in Texas for a few days. Got there. It was in the 90s. It was ungodly hot. Then the next day was rather comfortable. And when I left today, this morning, it was on its way to 110. So I'm thinking, all right, good thing I got out of there. I come back to the lovely New York City metropolitan area, 101 degrees.
Ooh.
Not fun. Not fun at all.
And again, that humidity is what kills that. Because 101, I'm sitting there going, it doesn't feel too bad. But then you're getting that moisture, and that just never feels good.
Don't say that.
I could have shortened it.
People don't like that word. You're saying that it's low. Oh, did Windows do this again?
Yeah, you sounded a little low.
Is that better?
Much better.
I don't know why Windows keeps doing this. It automatically adjusts like, yeah, we think you're too low. It's like Opie's running the board here. His mic's up at 100 and everybody else is at 55. And it's like, why does this sound right? I don't know. It was all whatever. Anyway, that's for another time. Yeah, I am back. I was in Texas. I was doing guest host duties for Dave Landau's show Normal World. Every now and then when he's out, they ask me to come out and fill in, and it's very kind of them to do so. I was out there, and this time I brought a friend. I brought my pal Chad Dukes. He came out there. He was on that show once before, but he Zoomed in, Skyped in, however they do it.
Yeah.
And then this time he came for real, live and in person. He was out there, and he had a good time, I think. I think everybody was quite happy with the way that the show went.
Yeah, you guys keep scaring off the host. You guys took over hosting duties.
Right. Well, I was out there on purpose, but apparently every time Chad's on the show, Dave just amscrays.
Dave's like, I don't want a part of this.
He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to see any of that stuff. So then one of these days, I'll get Dave in studio so that Chad will be there, and then I won't. And then I think that'll be better. Or maybe I'll be there and the rest of them won't. I'll sit in that studio for an hour. I don't care. You do what you want. It's a lot of fun doing the show over there at the Blaze.
Now, did you get to do the tour again this time?
Here's the thing. A lot of people were gone for the summer.
Right.
Or working remotely for the summer at other studios, other locations. And it was very minimal staff out there when I was there. I ran into my pal Alex Stein. He does his show there too. Great dude. He's fucking crazy all the time. It's not just an act. You walk in there, he starts picking you up and carrying you around the room. The guy's a maniac. But it was a lot of fun. So we had a great time out there. The episode that we did for Normal World, you can go on YouTube and go to Normal World on YouTube, and you can see the episode from, what was the date? Oh, June 19th. June 19th was the show that we did. And so it was me, Quarter Black Garrett, and Chad Dukes. So go and check that out for your viewing pleasure. After the show, I see you going to type and search. Don't do that right now. Don't do that right now. You can do that later and go and watch that episode. It's not going anywhere. We're live. Hang out here, please, please, please. Anyway, came back. I don't know what happened. Woke up in the hotel room this morning. Everything was fine. I thought everything was fine. My head's a bit stuffed up. And then when your head's overstuffed, you get that irritation in the top part of your throat. And then I had to fly home. And so that was uncomfortable. And now I'm here. And I was fine for a little while. We sit down. We go down to the studio to do the show. And now there's a problem again. So I'm hoping
that travel gunk, man.
I'm hoping this doesn't carry over to next week, which is the official 10th anniversary show of this program. 10 years that we've been doing this program, and a lot say why. And I say because it's something I do. I don't know. And again, people said, yeah, I don't get it, but why? And that's like, I don't know. If they didn't pay me, I wouldn't be here.
I have a feeling it's gonna be a packed show. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on, lots of stories, lots of memories going on. Yeah. I haven't had the pleasure of being on for the full 10 years, but I've been around enough and learned enough. I'm excited to celebrate with you. It's gonna be fun.
Are you gonna dress up?
I don't know.
I'm dressing up.
What are we talking?
I don't know. It's gonna be formal.
Collared shirts.
Semi-formal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do.
Dress to impress if you're coming down to Hunkabunkas on Thursday night. Ladies' night. Men dress to impress. Ladies get in free. That was actually a name of a club here in the New York City area way back in the 80s and 90s. It was called Hunkabunkas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's such a terrible name.
It's all right. We have a gentleman's club down in this area. I don't know if it's still around, but it used to be called the Alaskan Bush Company. I'm like, gross.
That was a strip club?
Yep, Alaskan Bush Company. I'm like, that sounds gross.
That's pretty funny. I mean, it sounds like, it sounds like, what is that? That Bass Sports or that Bass Fisherman?
Bass Pro Shop or something.
Bass Pro Shop. Yeah, it sounds like an outdoor woodsy kind of place. So,
oh no,
maybe that's how they hide. The exterior doesn't match the interior. I'm trying to remember. Back in the day, they used to have these things on the radio. It would go, out cue your club and concert calendar, and then it would just give you a rundown of what all the clubs were doing in the tri-state area. It was like a sponsored concert update. It wasn't like anything that the stations would do. They paid to have this advertising time.
That's kind of cool
on there. And so like in the middle of the commercials, you would hear some kind of sounder and it'd go, da-na-na, oh, cue your club and concert calendar. And then they'd run down all the stupid, Guinea Dance Club stuff that was going on Long Island, New Jersey, down the shore, all that fun stuff.
You see, that works in your area, though, because there's probably like more stuff to do, more condensed, clubs and venues and stuff to do that kind of thing. Out here, it's like, hey, we got a concert tonight. That's it. One.
The concert's here, everybody.
Concerts, guys.
The concert.
God.
The one we've been waiting for all year. That and rain, because we don't have any growing crops or industry out where we live.
I'm telling you, we got the wind and we got the stuff. I might get rain tonight. You're getting the heat. I'm going to get the rain.
Yeah, well, your rain is that sandstorm from The Mummy. You're just looking out to a vastness, and a face of sand dust just appears, swallows your town whole.
It's like, I thought it rained. Why is the car covered in dirt?
You need to move. You really need to move somewhere more civil. At least Phoenix. Like, get into a proper city.
Gross.
Not living out in those developmental areas like, hey, there's a lot of space. Some developer bought it and you're building the houses. And then they go, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. We're just going to leave it half finished. And maybe the road will go through it and people can get to and from there.
We are starting to get some amenities, so I'll stick it out.
You bought affordable track housing.
Right. No neighbors. No amenities, no roads.
So, you know how lately we've been talking about how I've been a bit of a, not a hypochondriac, a bit of a hypocrite. Because we were making fun of the water bottle things for so long.
Water bottle Nagel.
Well, the good water bottle that I had, I left it on the plane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I picked up.
Oh, that's terrible.
It was all this stuff going on, and I was having a terrible day as it was leaving and getting on the flight to go to Dallas, and there was just like a big commotion going on. Everybody, as soon as that ding, when the seatbelt thing turns off because you're at the gate, everyone just runs and
it's cattle call.
Yeah,
even
rips down the.
Everyone's supposed to do one out of it. Like, why did getting your stuff down matter? Like, everyone's got to go row by row. Like, everyone just jumps up as if they're gonna get out first, and it's just such a terror.
Yeah, they're ripping everything apart. Kids are in the aisle. People are pushing and shoving.
Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria, and I'm grabbing my bag, and I forgot the water bottle I had there, and I liked that one a lot. It was really good. So when I got to the hotel, everything's within 5 minutes, but you got to take Uber because it's too ungodly hot to walk anywhere. So went over. I was looking at went over to like Kroger's and Target and stuff, and Target had some water bottles, and I got one here. I'm like, all right, this seems fine. This one sucks because it's got like the silicone straw, and when you pop it open, sometimes there's some weird kind of reverse pressure thing. It opens up, it shoots everything out at you.
Shoots water at you.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't even have the fine.
Yep, keep doing that.
The time to keep build it up. Yeah, go ahead, make a GIF out of that. Where you're
clip that one.
So you're doing that to build it up and then have the explosion. It's just like, oh, I need some refreshment. You click it open, it just shoots all over the place like a party favor. So this one
just means you're doing it right.
This one kind of sucks, so I'm gonna have to go and buy a brand new one.
Are you gonna get a Stanley? Or are we gonna see you carrying a Stanley around?
No, the brand. What was the name of the brand that I had? It was called Chef something. Oh, they have food. Yeah, I get it. But it was called Umite, U-M-I-T-E, or Umite,
I don't
Chef.
think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, heavy duty, solid metal. You could swing it around and, knock people out. Has one of those handles that you could run over this thing and nothing's going to bend it. And
so you lost it going into Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you were not used to your surroundings being right next to the broken window.
Oh yeah, that too. So believe that. I get onto the flight and they switched my aisle seat to accommodate a family that wasn't all together. And here's the problem. Being that I have a kid and everything, I can be sympathetic and I understand. On the other hand, you're inconveniencing me. So this is going to be the issue that you gave up my aisle seat to accommodate a family that wasn't. They didn't book any of the seats together. They were kind of scattered. So I got a window seat. I got stuck with a window seat, which I hate a window seat. But there I am with the window seat. So I go and I sit down and I'm getting situated and I go, oh yeah, we're gonna take off. I'm gonna pull the shade down. Shade is broken.
Yeah,
the shade does not come down. Yeah. Ugh. So I am stuck with this shade. I took a video of it and I sent it to you and to
I loved it.
Hollywood agent Rob Stark, just to show you that, because I tell a lot of stories on this show about things that happen to me when I travel and go around to either maybe eat or see a movie or anything like that. And when I got to have proof that these things happened, or else they just all sound so far-fetched. And when Trevor's going to pop on in a minute, and I'm sure he can validate that as well. But yeah, so the thing wasn't working. I went and I took. Yeah, okay, here we go. Here's the video here. So I've got video. I'm trying to pull this thing. I'm going crazy. I'm trying to smash it up into the window. I can't pull it down. And then I just gave you both the finger because it was just so fucking annoying. So there I was for a while, and the plane takes off, and I'm getting really mad because the sun is in the direction, because the sun's rising. It's in the morning. I'm never going to be able to sleep. I just start banging into the window, and the thing falls down. Now,
it actually worked. Okay.
It broke again because whatever it was where it was stuck, now it's not stuck, but you try to pull it up, it falls right back down. So
you're going to get a bill from United.
I broke it a second time, and that's where it was. So went out to Dallas, had a great time, did, every time the Blaze flies me out, it's fantastic. It's a great facility, great network, and the show was good. I think I'm going back out there again soon. So when I have those details, I will let you know, and talking with people. We'll see how some things go. I'm not going to be out there, hey, we got this. When I know something, you'll know something. I hate shows and people that go and they tease things. Like, we got some things in the works. Can't talk about it right now, but, we'll be coming. It's like, then don't mention it at all.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, because then if nothing happens and they go, hey, 4 months ago, you said this thing was going to, what happened with it? Oh, yeah, that didn't work out. So what was the whole point of doing that? It's just stupid people looking, for cheap attention. And It is what it is. Old Restless in the chat. Dude, mad at the sun. Yes. I'm not only out there yelling, shaking fists at children, shaking fists at clouds. I'm now shaking fists at the sun. Because, since the dawn of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. And I think that Mr. Burns episode 2-parter was pretty on point. Let's just get a big solar disc, like those awkward tent things that they have outside where it just hangs over like your dining set out there to block the sun.
An umbrella.
Yeah, but it's just built weird. I'm like, let's build it even bigger and just block out the sky like that.
That'll get you shot by an infant. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think that one through. Anyway, Trevor's here.
What
There he is. Hello,
segue.
Trevor. How are you?
What's good? This looks terrible. What the hell's going on there?
It's you.
It's the hazy days of winter.
This is terrible.
Did you put is it covered with your fingerprints on the camera lens?
Just Vaseline.
So he cleans it with his fingerprints, makes it even worse.
Gotta give it that hot.
Maybe it's because the light's not on in your room.
All right, hold on.
Try that. It's been a while.
Oh, there it is.
That looks better. You look less gray.
What's good?
All right, there we go. Trevor
This
here
looks
is here,
terrible
everybody.
still.
Let's throw up your thing. There you go. Follow
That's
Trevor
me.
on Instagram. I see that you gave up Twitter a long time ago.
Oh, Twitter always. I think I was only
Nothing
on
good
Twitter
there.
because of you. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's all
there it
become
is.
porn now.
Yeah, but now it's all porn, boobies.
I know, but it's all subscriptions now too. So it's
I
like,
know,
oh
it
yeah,
doesn't take
check
me
out
long.
my latest, shoot. You guys are gonna love it, and then all of a sudden you just get that top little part and says, to see more, you just have to subscribe. So Twitter is turning into OnlyFans, turning into those websites that don't allow you to read their articles because you have a pop-up blocker on. It's like, I'm not paying for any of that, so I just
Looking
won't
at you,
see
Rolling
things.
Stone.
I know. And Vanity Fair and a few
Vanity
other
Fair,
other
yeah.
ones. What was it? Who else does it? Like Fox?
New York
Fox
Times.
News, Times, yeah. Ridiculous. It's like, it's only $2 for the for the month or the week or the day. It's like, no, that's still too much. I'm not doing that. Wow. Did you just glitched in the Matrix, Trevor? You were over there and then you got really close to the screen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And your mic's gone now.
What?
Now we're hearing you through your the camera.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's unlike this show to have any technical difficulties.
Yeah, right. Why would this show be?
But at least this time it's not us doing it. That's the fun part.
Right.
I was trying. I don't know this camera.
There you go. That's better. Your mic's back.
Yeah.
All right. Trevs
Eric
and
already
Devs.
starts the thing low anyway.
Good to see you, my friend. It's been a while.
December 2020 was the last time I was on the show.
Wow. He bailed at us at the height of the pandemic when
Yeah.
we needed him the most. He amscrayed. And then he was working. That poor guy was going into the city every day as an essential personnel.
I was
God,
in the
I
city
remember that.
every day.
Yeah, he would send me a video sometimes as he was coming through the tunnel. Like he'd have checkpoints in the city. It was so weird to come out through the Holland Tunnel and you had to have your thing at that time in the morning in order to go down a certain road.
It was legit like the video game The Division. You know, you pulled through the tunnel and then they like stopped you. Like, where are you going? I'm like, work.
I remember we that was at the height when everybody was on Discord and we were doing games and stuff like that. Trevor would disappear and then he would come back on to be like say hi to everybody and it's like 4 a.m. his time and he's showing us New York City just desolate. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm driving through, I've got to get to work. I'm like, that sounds terrible. I'm 3 hours behind you and I'm gonna go to bed.
But it was just like Sandy was still weirder. Because COVID was like, oh, everything's shut down. Like, and there's still like police everywhere and pirates and shit like that. Because there's still weird people in the fucking streets. But Sandy was different because that's when the power was out. So then there was just no one on the streets and all the buildings were like dark and black and desolate. That was interesting because then it was really like chaos because there was no traffic lights. You couldn't see anything. So people were just going down the wrong way down the streets and blowing through lights. That was interesting.
Let me give out the plugs because I want to talk to Trevor a little bit about his history on the show here. Trevor's currently right
I don't know
now.
if we want to.
Yeah, we do it for a little bit. Trevor is currently on the Jim Kerr Rock and Roll Morning Show at Q104, living it up in the top of the Empire State Building with all of that. And then you're also heard in several other markets. You're in Washington, D.C. on DC 101, somewhere in New Hampshire, I guess, Rock 101. I don't remember what town that's in.
Yep, that's GIR Manchester.
Manchester. And then 107.1 The Boss down on the Jersey Shore.
Yes.
That station does great, doesn't it?
It's an interesting place to work. It's very cool.
Named after Bruce Springsteen, and it just caters to the people in the Jersey Shore.
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that station is. When I joined, it was still a classic rock station, and now I think, what did I do the other day? I did I did something weird. I did like Zeppelin into Natalie Imbruglia. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on anymore.
You went from Kashmir to Torn?
Dude, it's a weird station.
Okay.
And now we have like 14 different taglines too.
How much Steely Dan are you playing? It's turning into yacht rock pretty much, that station.
It's a yacht rock, without a doubt.
And our buddy Kane works there too.
I love Kane.
Kane from K-Rock days. And Kane and Corey recently on what was Alt 92.3. And they got the boot from there, and then they killed the station because of terrible management. And Kane and Corey do their podcast, and Kane's on weekends or afternoons? What is he doing?
Nights.
Monday through Thursday, 7 to 11.
Good for Kane. I like Kane. He's a good dude. Trevs.
What's up, man?
When did you join the show? Was it 2017, 18?
I don't remember that. I was still with Scott. Shannon for when we first started.
Right.
And then I did it for a while, and then I had to take that short break when I worked 9 months in political talk radio, and I wanted to hurt myself.
WOR, yeah.
WOR. And and then came back with for a while, and then I didn't.
Yeah. Then we had a parting of the ways, which it seems to happen a lot on this on this show, and not anymore. Not anymore. Those things have changed now, but there might have been some personnel issues at the time that was causing discomfort for everybody involved. So, progress had to be made, and everybody had to move on.
I mean,
to their own things.
I could just say that I was just drinking every day and blacking out, and I got into a fight with Giddles.
That is true.
Yeah,
and was fighting his whole Discord too of all his like-minded friends. And
like I said, I was drinking every day and blacking out. I wake up and apparently I pissed off the Discord.
Yeah.
COVID was a fun time.
It was because we were watching all this, and I was playing Sea of Thieves because I just discovered it, and I was playing it all hours, and then I'd sleep for 4 hours and then get up and run Compound for the rest of the day from home.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go to work, I'd go to sleep. I didn't have kids yet. Wife was pregnant, and so she'd fall asleep early, and then I just, that's what we did all. We would drink and play party games every night.
Yeah,
we had nothing else to do.
What was
it's
it?
Crazy. Once
Jackbox?
Yeah, it was Jackbox, and we do like movie nights, and I think one night we even did. I think Trevor was doing like karaoke one night. I'm like, this is weird on Discord.
Well, that was one of the nights that I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably one of them. But yeah, it was.
It happens.
And it was fun. It was getting everybody together. No one could leave their house. Everyone was stuck doing stuff. So that's kind of everyone.
I kind of want that to go back this way, or at least off the highways where everybody's just home and not on the highway. That was fantastic.
We need another pandemic.
It's like, well, try to stay away from family gatherings. And it's like, well, we had to go see one, yes, but when we had to go see family, there's nobody on the Garden State Parkway, so you're doing 90, and there's no cops that are going to pull you over.
Oh, I see. You're nicer than I was. I just banned family at that point. I think I skipped.
Oh, I did. Eventually, we got
there.
Eventually, we got there because the kid was coming. So we can't do Christmas, can't do Easter, can't do birthdays, all of that stuff. We're stuck at home. Oh darn! Ordering catering once again.
I'm 10,000% on the opposite side of you guys.
I know you were everywhere that you did not want to be.
I wanted to get the hell out of my house. I'm a very social person, but because of the incoming child, I couldn't risk it. And that was really annoying because all my friends didn't give a crap. Everyone went out. And being locked down was one of the worst things for my mental health.
Yeah, it was great and terrible at the same time for me. Like, because I did want to go out and do some things, and I did. But it wasn't with people, so then I was okay. So that's why I was like kind of balancing the two out. It's like I kind of want to go to the movies, but there's no movie theaters open. I kind of want to go to a restaurant, but they're just all set up as, we'll leave it outside. We'll leave it out front for you. Call the order. It'll be in a bag laying out on the curb.
Right.
You pick up your order and you go away. So
it's next to the homeless man that might get it before you. So hurry up.
Right. People in the chat are happy to see you there.
What is good?
It is goddamn Trevor. Old Restless saying Q104 still exists. Yes, they are a top station, my friend. They have been for a while.
Number one classic rock station in the country.
Yeah, kicking the ass of a lot of people. And by classic rock, your favorite 90s alternative and rock, because that's exactly what it is now.
I'm like, I heard Green Day on a classic rock station here in Arizona the other day. I'm like, ew, gross.
That's exactly
I'm gotten old. Too old.
Wait, I'm actually very excited for the upcoming things that we are testing. It's going to be a lot more 90s.
Oh, yeah?
Because... Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the way that the ratings work. You know, a lot
You're
of
gonna
people
start playing Jodeci and like Onyx.
More garbage, just 24/7 garbage.
The band, not actual music.
Yes, thank you.
It's just nothing but garbage.
Yeah,
they only had like 4 hits, and she's dead, so there's nothing else coming.
No, you're thinking of the Cranberries. Garbage is actually still alive and kicking.
Wait, Cheryl, what's her name?
Shirley Manson.
Yeah, she's still alive.
Yeah, Sheryl Crow is the headliner of Garbage.
No,
and she's
Shirley.
live and kicking.
I swear to God, I thought she had passed away.
You're thinking of Dolores Riordan of the Cranberries.
Am not.
M2.
Yeah, probably that's what I'm thinking about.
That's exactly what you're thinking.
All right, Trevor, your time on the show. Tell us anything memorable, or was it just like your Discord and the COVID days where you were drunk and blacked out and don't remember most of it?
No, well, the first time I think I was ever on your show, I was heavily intoxicated because you did your like anniversary at a brewery, and you didn't tell me that I was coming on.
That was the
and we go to this brewery.
That was the second anniversary show. Yeah.
Damn.
So we're at a brewery. You have like a limited edition just for you guys. You're handing it out to everybody. We're all just having a good time. And you're like, hey, you're gonna come on next after this. And I'm like, well, that's a bad idea. And you're like, you're gonna come on. By the way, it's 99 degrees out.
Mm-hmm.
The brewery has no air conditioning, and all the doors are shut.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get why they shut the door.
It was 99 degrees outside, and the sun was out. I don't know, probably to keep the beer cold, Eric.
Yeah, well, but, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the people dying that are sitting there watching the show, not the beer staying chill.
We were talking about Mungo Jerry. That was my first time on the show. And then it kind of just basically spiraled out of control from there. No, I had a good time. The first time I just came on as a guest, you know. We were drinking a few beers and having a good time and talking about stuff. Because a lot of things that worked, I feel like, with us is because me and you do two completely different types of shows. Mm-hmm. And then I continued to always do a different show, and they were always completely different. So, like, you know, what you were talking about would be nothing I'm talking about, but we both knew about each other's stories. We just never deep dived into each other's stories. So it was good. So you kind of got like a whole rounded thing with it. And then and also because we all came from a completely different set of walks of lives between Giddles and Zia and you. So it was, you know, I had a great time doing it, you know. I'd still be doing it probably, but life finds a way. Is that Jurassic Park?
Sure.
Star Wars. So as you were like leaving the show, you were expecting kid number 1. I heard you had kid number 2.
Yeah, so I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old now.
That's crazy, man.
Got a boy and a girl.
Oh, good. You got the complete set.
It's insane. Yeah, no, it's
now you need the chase figure, the one that glows in the dark.
Just glows in the dark.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's not good.
Kids are great, man. Kids are awesome. No, I love having
watching
kids.
this. You can say what you mean.
Kids are great, but god damn, are they a lot of work. And not that I didn't think that was going to happen, but like it's you know, even though the age difference is not that bad, it's only 2 years. They're so far apart between like, you know, sleep schedules and eating and talking and comprehending, because, you know, my son was running at 10 months and my daughter is, I don't know, 14 or 15. I hate the month thing, but like she's just starting walking.
It's mostly a woman thing and clothing size. You have to know it for clothing size, but then you never address like a guy doesn't address the kid. Oh, my kid's 17 months. My kid's, you just go like, my kid's almost
Eric's
2.
always texting me, my kid's 175 months today. It's been great. No,
but it really is the clothes thing, because that's what they want. That's what people ask about. How old? I want to get her. How old is she? And I'm like,
I learned the hard way too. You whatever the size is, that's not the size that you buy.
That's true too. But if you're in a store going February, March, April, then you're the asshole dad that doesn't know how old.
No, you're just the dad, because I've done that too. It's like, wait, okay. She's not going to be a 2T, so I have to buy a 3T. Like, all right, so this is way too big, but she's going to grow into it.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question about these T's, because I went to, I was out in LA, and I went to Super Mario World, and I'm in the kids section, like for kids, and they're like, "This is an extra small," and I literally had to say, "What T is this?" And I had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, "Is this a 4T, 5T? What's an extra small?"
I learned a lot. I learned a lot, especially like going to some of the theme parks, that they don't really do a lot of baby sizing. Like baby or toddler sizing. It's like you're a kid, and the extra small would probably be close to like 5T.
Yeah, it was.
So you got to
you're not gonna
have a chart.
They're not going to have the baby at the park, and if they do, they're not going to be like the little kids who would see something on a rack or see something on a shelf and then bug the parents that that's what they want. A baby's not going to give a shit, or if a baby's at a theme park at all, so they really don't cater to that at all.
Yeah, I was just happy that it fit when I got back. That's all.
On you?
Yes.
Because I've seen photos of you in that flamingo onesie. I've showed a lot of people when you were out.
I love it.
When it was that photo with you and Woody at Morning Show Boot Camp.
Yeah. I can't believe that's been like the face picture of the whole entire thing for the last year. It's been awesome. Everyone's like, they're like, and you know that you picked it because of Woody. They're like, look, Woody was there, and like, look at the asshole next to him in all flamingos.
I tell this story, and I've told Jordan this too, because Jordan's coming out this year to boot camp. I think you're coming.
You really?
Are you coming, Trevor?
Yeah, I'll be out there like Friday and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm going. I'm all set to go. I'm going a day early.
Yeah, me.
I'll be there Tuesday.
No, I'm flying in Wednesday morning. When the last one, because I went the year before, and then I couldn't go last year because of my dad's situation. But you were going, like, I've never been here before. You know, he was asking me some questions. What do I wear? And I said, well, there's going to be a lot of industry people there. So, I mean, you don't have to dress up in suits and stuff, but, you know, at least look presentable because they might have opportunities for you and stuff. And then he goes, okay. Then I see that photo of Trevor in the flamingo onesie, and I just went, "Oh God, you're the cliche party guy on a morning show." You looked awesome in it, but I was just like, "Oh, Trevor." But then everyone else seemed to love him in that flamingo onesie, so I guess I'm wrong. I guess I had the.
Well, that was the thing. It was, I asked you because you were there. I asked Woody, and Woody goes, shorts and like flip flops. He's like, it's gonna be 110. I'm like, yeah, but this is like an industry thing. He goes, we're in radio. No one gives a fuck. And I'm like, okay, so I got something different.
But Woody didn't wear shorts and flip flops.
I wore he wore
jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah,
yeah.
He sold you out.
What is he? What he would wear?
Look, for those who don't know, Woody's a big deal on the West Coast. He's syndicated through, I think, like 20 markets through.
We're in 40 plus markets right now.
40 plus markets.
I'm working with him now, and he just signed to Dallas. He'll be doing the morning show after.
So they moved him out of West Coast in the Mountain Range. Now he's down in Central too, huh?
We're in Dallas, Indy, Philly, Pittsburgh, Vegas. Those are our big markets.
Wait, he's in Philadelphia?
Yeah, he's been on Alt 104.5 for years.
Not live, right? How do you do live on the West Coast for the East Coast and be a morning show?
So I went out to LA to hang out with him, and we got to the studio at 1 a.m. his time.
He was on the air at 1 in the morning?
He was the first one in the building. Now,
that's fine, but he was on the air?
The 6 o'clock hour a little bit in Philly, but, you know, he'll record some stuff.
So he's live at 3 a.m. on LA time just to be live at 6 a.m. in Philly.
Not every break. Sometimes he'll walk in and like he'll do the weather and stuff and record it, like those like quick breaks. But like, yeah, he's the science that goes into the Woody Show is absolutely ridiculous.
See,
it's science.
This is what I kind of marveled at and never fully understood, because any of the syndicated shows I worked on were live to go. Like, you got what you got, or it was on tape delay. You didn't do like the million different custom order angle like Elvis Duran does, and apparently what Woody's doing now for all of that stuff, because it just seemed like you're making way too much work for what this needed to be. They were like, it was like almost making it overly complicated. But
you think that, but then look at him. He's still growing. He's in Philly. He's in Dallas's market. What, 5?
Yeah.
You know? Probably the only reason, and well,
good for him.
Inside baseball, and I don't have to give anything away because that's stations we've.
His name's not Woody. What?
No, it's that he would be in New York, except other terrible management decisions by radio companies here. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
That,
look,
like-
they brought Elliot in at the competition, and that bombed horribly. So maybe they can.
That's a well.
They could syndicate him through the competition somewhere else here in New York, because there's nothing like his show here in New York anymore.
It's a long story, Eric. That's all I know.
What about middays? It works for Ryan Seacrest, does it? Really? No, it doesn't.
No, that's the worst one on that.
What if they brought him in like he was the midday show after Jim on Q?
So we're not there yet. I think radio, and I say we. No. When I say we, I don't mean Q. I mean radio. I don't think radio is ready for personality-driven 24/7. You know, he's a show. Like
Radio's not ready. Radio used to be that, and then they forgot about it.
Middays was always a single person, and they wanted to hear the music while you're at work. You know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You don't need a full blown morning show during your midday. You could do it maybe on the drive home now, and a lot of people are doing it on the drive home.
What if they did what they used to do to us in certain markets? They played our morning show in the afternoon.
I've seen it. I haven't seen great results on paper. So I don't know. In the afternoon for us, I know, like I said, I think we're still not there yet on a demographic scale.
How does that work, that you do one morning show in New York and another morning show in LA?
As soon as I get done with you guys here right now at 9 p.m., I'll log back on and do some stuff for LA. No, actually, I did a bunch of it early.
You're not there live while he's on, right?
No, I'm doing my show. Yeah.
Okay, so
I prep a lot of stuff for his other markets. Like LA is him and a couple other markets he takes. The team that he has, that he employs and puts, he's so strategic. He's like seriously like a mad scientist on how he does the show. And then when I went to actually go see him do it live, it's insane and it's all in his head. And people just like know when to answer the right question.
Right.
So I'm doing a lot of stuff for markets so that way he can sound local, because like he gives a shit. So
it's one of the few left that does, and that a company allows him to give a shit, about what he's doing.
He's one of the last few ones that, to make a sports reference for people who would know, Bill Belichick, that basically says, if you're going to give me, like, if you trust me to do my show in a major market such as LA, then you could trust me to do my show anywhere. So just give me my own budget. I'm going to do my own thing. And if it fails, it's on me. It's not going to fail because of the promotions person. It's not going to fail because of that. Well, sales is sales. They do their own thing. But, like, everything is on him. And that's why I think he takes it so seriously. And when he stopped giving a shit about what the company thought and put it all on himself,
good.
That's when he started being successful.
I'm glad to hear that. Good. I'm glad there's still some people out there that know how this all works and not listen to.
And it's so funny when he does get pushed back. When he does get pushed back and he loses, because something you can't win every time.
True.
What he parlays in his head to do the next thing is just as genius. So
okay,
because he doesn't take it like, okay, you said no, I'll think of the next thing, and it's usually something 10 times greater because he's forced to think of it.
He was on in New York for a little while, right, on K-Rock?
He was in K-Rock until he wanted mornings. He wanted to be the guy.
He wanted to be the one that took over after Howard?
No, he had other opportunities, other places to do the morning show. He was like a nighttime guy at K-Rock.
Right.
It was a short time that Steve Kingston hired him.
So, it was that far back. Okay.
Yeah, it was that far back.
Gotcha.
And then you had that dude, that K-Rock had so many personalities though.
They did.
You had Booker, right, at one point.
Kane.
You had him, Nick, all those
Nick
guys.
Carter.
Not the one.
Julie Slater. She was the middays. Yeah.
So New York, the radio. We're in a weird shift right now. I have to say.
So when I see
it in the music testing, and I see it with what people are listening to.
What are they listening to?
Right now, they're listening to classic rock and things that make them comfortable. How do I?
If they're listening to stuff that's familiar.
Yes, but it also depends what your company looks at, right? Let's look at the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy, Just Hilarious, right? And then you look at the ratings that are public ratings, right? Power doesn't do that great.
Nope.
In New York City, there's plenty of people who should be listening to Power. But it's the most downloaded show on the iHeartRadio app. It's the biggest digital thing ever to go across the country.
They do well in syndication, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
But
they
in
still
New
have
York-
they have the TV element. It used to be Revolt, but now it's BET, right?
It used to be BT. They're currently
Wait,
searching for
BET's
another
gone
net-
too?
Yeah, they have been for about 6-7 months now. But
Wait a minute. I think one of the last times I was in that building, they were moving BET in.
yeah,
Wow, that fell apart quick. Wow, that's surprising. Okay. Well,
so it's
when are you moving to
It all
LA?
depends what you look for. When am I moving to LA? Mm-hmm. We have probably never. There was talks about it. We couldn't come to something that worked, and then I went out there and hung out, and I realized, man, I would hate to live in LA.
LA's rough. I know
There's
a lot of people
homeless.
romanticize living out there, but LA's complicated just because it's so spread out, and it's just not
It's
functional.
very spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is legitimately GTA 6. Like everything has got to go far. You might as well give me the fucking
Well,
horse
5
from
is
Red Dead
LA.
and put me
6
in.
is going to be Miami.
Oh yeah, my bad.
That'd be great. It's like, oh yeah, it's like you have Trevor's thinking of Miami the entire time. That's why LA didn't work for him.
No,
Can't get a decent Cubano here.
yeah. Let's go old Eric Nagel for a second, though.
Sure.
Or it's Eric Nagel talking about GTA 6. When the fuck are we just going to get a game that lets us go back between Liberty City and Los Santos? Like, why the fuck do we have to pick one?
There was talk of something.
I thought
Another.
that's what 6 was going to be.
No, 6 would. I thought 6 was going to be more Vice City stuff again, but they switched it up with the way 6 is. But there's some kind of rumor about Liberty City returning. I don't know if it's going to be like
I'm going to be 75 by the time we go back to
like that
Liberty City.
handheld game or something like that. I don't know, but I heard something. So we'll find out. I would just be happy with 6 because I'm tired of occasionally popping in, taking my bike that flies around, ruining the people's missions on the highway when they're trying to, smuggle drugs and weapons, and then I fly back into the casino while they're pissed, and then I just leave the game. That's all you can do at this
blimp and
point.
throw grenades.
That's all you can really do at this point.
I love doing it in slow motion. Really piss them off. 'Cause I'm not getting away, and I know it.
Is Randy there?
Yeah, Randy's been talking to me the whole entire time.
Yeah,
Randy
I
just
don't
left
see
in
his.
the way.
I don't see his camera.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. All right, let's bring Randy in. There he is. Hello, Randy.
Hello. How's this look? It's all right.
Sure.
Need more light? Or better. I'm better in low light.
I've paid for worse things on OnlyFans.
You subscribe to mine?
There's our pal Randy, the man in charge of the NECA toy company. All his stats are right there on the screen. But for the audio people, NECA official on Instagram, and go to NECAonline.com for all your NECA and adulting toy needs. Not adult toys, but toys for adults.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes, because Trevor was going under false pretenses and then go, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
I was going to say, Randy, please tell us how people use for adult purposes that Hello Kitty behind you. The one with the spikes.
The head comes off. There's attachments.
Yeah, why is there Hello Kitty stuff behind you?
I'm in a new location tonight.
Oh, is this your business?
This is my midlife crisis right here.
Randy opened up a brand new business. Is it Yesterday Cafe? Is that what it's called?
Almost. Yestertoy.
Yester Toys. I don't know where I got Yesterday Cafe from.
Yeah,
You're hungry.
Yeah, that could be it too. It's been a long traveling day, but Yester Toys, where is it located?
It is in Chatham, New Jersey. Beautiful downtown Chatham.
Oh, that looks awesome. Does it have the musty smell like you're in a basement or an attic or something like that? Like you're like a toy hoarder?
I hope not. It's clean and nice. It's only been open since November, so unless I'm on a really high protein diet, it smells pretty good.
Oh, good. So this is not like a reseller for NECA stuff. This is a totally separate venture?
Yeah, completely separate. Most of it, 80% is like vintage. I'm a big 70s and 80s guy, so it's like the Sweat Hogs, Mork from Ork, $6 Million Man, Star Wars, Old School Joes, He-Man, Thundercats. Majority is the stuff we grew up with. And then I've got modern stuff for the kids who come in. The middle schools nearby. So I got Pokemon, SpongeBob, all the current anime stuff. And a sprinkling, just a dash of some NECA. But I see that stuff all day in the 9 to 5. So I want to have, this is my escape from all that. It's a lot of vintage and classic, really fueled by nostalgia. So it's a lot of fun.
If you want to get more foot traffic, you should throw in one of those little refrigerators in there and just stock it full of Prime, because apparently the kids just drink all those different color Prime bottles all the time.
Damn it, I'm drinking right now.
Same thing, actually. It keeps you hydrated, and there's no sugar in it, so I drink a lot of it. I do have a mini fridge in the back stocked with it, and maybe a couple cold adult beverages for those rough days.
All right.
What are you talking about?
You know your customer base. I get it. Randy, you've got we got San Diego Comic-Con coming up in a few weeks, but starting next week you're going to be doing your pre-sale for the NECA exclusives, right?
Right. Yeah, we've been doing this for a number of years, where we do pre-orders for non-attendees. So people always complain, right? I can't afford to go to San Diego, or I can't get a ticket to San Diego, or and they want the exclusives. So we do over the course of 3 days. It'll be next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do some drops online where they can pre-order and get their shot at our convention exclusives. And then they will receive them in the mail. They'll get shipped to them right after Comic-Con concludes, around the third week of July.
Now, I remember you did this one year, and it was, I think one of the exclusives was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You had the pack that looked like the arcade artwork.
All right.
You guys recreated the thing where April O'Neil's in the yellow outfit holding the microphone with the camera thing, and that just I think I was there that year where that thing just, you couldn't keep it in stock. People were just clamoring over this thing and then screaming at you online to try to buy it online because they were not there at this con. So something like this is supposed to kind of ease that online aggression the best that you possibly can by making some available online.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we try to. That's the thought, right? You're never going to please anyone or everyone, but we're trying. It's it's sometimes a toxic fan base to begin with, but we're doing the best we can to service everyone. We get it. It's hard. And people do a lottery to get tickets to San Diego the year before, so it is tough for the average person to attend the show, and it costs a lot. So, I mean, I'm a collector, so I understand you want a chance at these items. So I think it levels the playing field a little and makes it attainable, and you don't have to battle like eBay or whatever, Macari or whatever the latest reseller thing is.
So what are you selling this year for people who are interested in this?
Yeah, we've been revealing them over the past few weeks. I don't think we've revealed all of them yet, but I'll try to go backwards from what we've shown most recent to prior. So this week we revealed the one from Dinosaurs, the old ABC show. There you go.
I couldn't believe when I saw this one revealed. I was like, that is such a niche character. That's like season 4 of that series.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's good about it, right? So like the regular Earl, you can go into Target or wherever and buy it, but we feel like if we're going to do a deep cut like this and him in a superhero costume, it's almost like cosplay. It's the best place, the best avenue to do it is for a Comic-Con.
Right.
So yeah, it makes complete sense to do him for San Diego. He's in really cool, comic book themed packaging. He's got the tights. He's packing heat down there. He's got his cape,
and he's packing. Look at that.
It's just a fun exclusive, I think, and it works well for for an event like Comic-Con. It ties into the whole theme of cosplay.
I got to ask you a question. This is a Jim Henson property, right?
Well, Henson Studios did all the creatures and suits and stuff, but it was ABC and Disney that actually put on the show, and it streams on Disney Plus and everything like that. So
that's what I was going to ask. How did you get a Disney license like this?
Yeah, no one was doing anything with it, and actually, if you go back a couple of years prior, we were kind of looking through the catalog several years back for stuff that had not come back. Really following the success we had from Ninja Turtles, it's like, okay, what else, when you come out of the 80s and you're into the early 90s, besides Turtles, what was the next big thing? And that's when we did Gargoyles.
Hold on, right there. Look at that.
Gargoyles.
Wait, hold on. Let's see.
It looks like a comic book splash page and stuff. So when we looked at Gargoyles, and Gargoyles exploded and did really well for us, we kickstarted, like now there's the Gargoyles comic book. They're developing a live action movie. Like there's a game out there. No one was doing anything with Gargoyles for years until we started doing the figures again. So dinosaurs we looked at in the same way. From that same time period, like 93-ish.
Right.
And felt like it's time to bring it back, and the people who grew up with it maybe are showing it to their kids now on a streaming platform like Disney Plus. So it's like let's have some fun and try something different. Plus, we're all Henson fans, right? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I loved that show too. I think it was. I don't know if they got canceled early or if it was just starting to fall apart in that last season. I just know it seemed rushed, so it wasn't like the rest of the series. But I enjoyed it, and yeah, there really wasn't anything out there for dinosaurs. I think from the initial run, maybe, but that was it. Like it was never thought of again after that.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. And we try to look for gems like that aren't licensed to death, right? Because like during the original televised run, there was a small toy line and there was some fast food tie-ins, like in a Happy Meal, some plush, and then like that was it. So it probably hasn't been heard from in about 30 years.
Well, the big focus was the baby too. Like they didn't really do a lot of the other characters like Earl or anything like that. There was always the focus on the baby. So
they did a music video for the baby.
It's not the mama.
So we have a baby Sinclair and we have Earl, like the regular traditional versions out at retail now. They've been out since holiday of last year, and then this is the first like show or con exclusive for San Diego.
All right, what else do we have for the exclusives?
Well, it's a good segue or tie-in to the one we're doing with Alf. So Alf is another one that was really more 80s, but kind of went into the 90s. And we're doing this cosplay Alf. It's like a superhero Alf. It's based on some old storybook art that was around in the heyday of Alf, where he's actually dressed in this superhero costume. So we made it as if it's Alf attending Comic-Con in his superhero garb. He comes with a selfie stick and a poster tube that has a sticker sheet that you can decorate. And
cool.
There's a poster inside the tube, so if you open it up, like there's actually a rolled poster in there. It'd be like when you go to the con, right? Every booth either gives away tote bags or posters. So like a poster tube's an essential, even more so than deodorant for most people at Comic-Con. The poster tube is a necessary.
It shouldn't be, but unless it is, yes.
So Super Alf would be the next one, and it complements the Earl, and there's all the fun stuff he comes with. So selfie stick.
I swear I thought this was a middle finger, and I was like, this is awesome, but no, it's a pointing finger.
We do have a Chucky out there with the middle finger, but I don't think we'd be allowed to do that with Alf. He's not quite as risque, but.
Yeah, he was. He had a late night talk show at one point.
And supposedly he's coming back. There's like a reboot or relaunch in the works, so who knows if they'll make him edgier. But it's a fun one. We've had a couple different Alf figures out there. And again, it's another one of those like niche things, but no one else was doing anything with it. And we're at that time now where people around our age remember it from when they were kids.
Right.
And they're kind of showing it to their kids.
I think if I could make a suggestion, if this does really well for you, right?
Yep.
Maybe consider the late night talk show Alf.
Oh yeah. Well, it ties in. We were looking actually at a presidential one because there was all this Alf for president stuff back in the day, and since we're in an election year, we don't get political, but it was just something that I feel like you could have some fun with, the podium, all the mics, campaign slogans.
I'd vote for him.
Make Melmac great again, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, we went a different direction.
Cat in every pot.
Yeah. But we were looking at that as well. So yeah, if it takes off, there's definitely a lot more to do. We have like a rock and roll Alf coming out. He's got like a battle vest and a flying V guitar, and he has like devil horn hands, and just fun because I like all the rock stuff, so that's a fun one.
You do? I had no idea. What else do you have for exclusives? What else are we gonna be able to get?
We have a pretty cool Nosferatu. It's a glow-in-the-dark retro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically, we've been doing these homages to a monster toy line that existed in the early 80s. It was one of my favorites when I was a kid, made by a company called Remco. And last year we had a creature from the Black Lagoon that glows in the dark. It's on a big blister card. This year it's Nosferatu. So they're just lots of fun against the retro homage to toys from the early 80s, and done in a fun way. It looks cool in the regular light, but if you get it under a black light or in the dark, the head and the hands glow, and it just looks cool and creepy. And even though this isn't tied into the movie, it doesn't hurt that there is a new Nosferatu movie coming out.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, the trailers are debuting this weekend on the Bike Riders, so I'm going to go see that movie just to see the trailer.
Yeah, I'm dying to see the trailer as well. It should be cool. I mean, anytime they do something with Nosferatu, even that thing from, it's got to be 20 years ago, with the one with Willem Dafoe in it.
Willem Dafoe, yeah.
That thing was awesome.
I like how you do the old-fashioned peg hangers.
Yeah, that's the butterfly hook on top. Yeah, and it's just a cool one. It's just fun to do something different. We're trying to have something that's more family friendly and all audiences, like Dinosaurs and Alf, and then you have something that's a little more creepy and monstery for our horror fans.
On the back of the artwork, the actual packaging, the artwork on the back there shows pretty much like the Universal Monster line. Mm-hmm. Are all of these available, or are they still to come?
Yeah. So the Mummy, Frankenstein, and Wolfman are at retail now. The Dracula was a NECA online exclusive. Creature was San Diego Comic-Con 23. Phantom of the Opera was New York Comic-Con 23. And then Nosferatu, which we just spoke of, is San Diego this summer. And then we have not announced when or where you can get The Bride or The Invisible Man, which are the other two on the bottom. But they are...
Sorry.
And this is the first time we've announced. So, yeah, there's 9 in total so far, which is fun.
This is fantastic.
Cool stuff.
All right, what else do we have?
We have one of my favorite films from childhood, and that is Flash Gordon. The one with the Queen soundtrack, Sam Jones, who the younger crowd knows from Ted, probably even more than you know from Flash Gordon. But this is one of the creepiest scenes in this movie. It's called the Wood Beast Challenge. And
it looks kind of casual right now, I'm not going to lie.
He goes to Aboria, and he has to stick his hand inside this tree stump where that little scorpion creature lives. And it's sort of like a rite of passage that all these guys have to do. It's in the scene with Timothy Dalton as Prince Baron. It scarred me for life as a kid. I would never go near a knot or a hole in the tree in my yard because of this scene. Fear of what's living inside of it. But it is a really fun exclusive. It's a different, brand new version of Flash, different from the one that's at retail. And then it comes with the stump, the scorpion-like creature, a sword, and some interchangeable hands and head. And if all goes well, we will have Sam at our booth at some point during Comic-Con to autograph some of these for the fans.
I'm amazed he's still functioning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, he does a lot of cons now. I think he was coming out to Arizona like pretty soon. I was actually thinking of going to get my 4K set signed by him.
Yeah, super good dude, and he does a lot of shows. Even you guys were talking about COVID before when I was in the waiting room. Even during the COVID times, he was doing them in like Florida and all the states where no one gave a crap. So he's always out there signing, and the dude has stayed in shape. Like you could tell he's doing his push-ups, his pull-ups.
Now I don't do cocaine, but if I did it with one 80s superhero, it would be him. Ever since Ted, I was like, yeah, I'd party with that guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So this is a fun one, for the show, and having Sam there is a bonus. I'm not sure. We'll post info closer to the con as to like particulars, date and time, and what have you. But he should be at our booth autographing some of these during the show.
Wow, that's great. Is there anything else?
There is, but wait, there's more. Yeah, it's not announced yet, so we're live, right?
Yes.
I can't show it, but tomorrow is probably, we saved the best for last. Tomorrow's the best and the biggest, and you mentioned Ninja Turtles before. We do a Ninja Turtle exclusive every year. It's always probably the most sought after and biggest and best, and this year is no exception. It's the 40th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the original Eastman and Laird comic books, which started
where they were all in the red bandana, yeah,
and they were drawn quite differently than what we've all come to sort of know and associate with from the Fred Wolf cartoons. Or
they were more mature.
Definitely edgier and definitely darker. We have a very special 40th anniversary set, which will be revealed online tomorrow, but I'm at least confirming its existence to you guys.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That was really cool.
Two very special, very unique figures, and the packaging as well is really awesome and specific to the convention, and strategically left room for autographs as well, because we will have Kevin Eastman appearing to sign some of those if you purchase on site in San Diego.
So those are only going to be at San Diego, not available for online.
We will do online pre-orders as part of the rollout next week, but none of those will be autographed. The autograph you can only get in person from Sam Jones or Kevin Eastman or any of our crew. You want it, any of our guys who are there, our creative team, like just on premise. Anything unsigned will be part of the pre-orders next week.
Eric's about to get like 47 texts about, hey, I'll Venmo you if you can.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Every time we've had Randy on the show, leading into New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, whatever, and then we'd be live from the floors of these conventions, and you would get people. It's like, look, I'll pay you $150 to buy the $100 box, and I'm like, that's not enough. But then when they'd up the amount, and I said, I can't do that. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. But
you're the worst with that. Giddles and I were trying to make a living, and you were just being a buzzkill.
Well, Giddles I told him, Giddles did that shit with Funko. We're not doing that with NECA, so
no way.
We're not doing that. Was there one last thing on this list here that I'm seeing, or is that not a?
I think we got them. I think that's.
There's nothing for Predator here.
Oh, you're right. We revealed that one first. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, that's right. We revealed that one.
Thank God.
It's the first one. It's from Prey, and it is this camo-cloaked sort of mid-reveal version of the feral predator from Prey. And it has some really cool packaging. Instead of a blister card or cardboard packaging, it's all in acetate with sort of the scales and cloaking hexagonal shape from the predator actually printed into the box, like a slip cover that comes off, some special printing involved to make it.
Wow, look at that.
Again, you can get the core regular movie version of the feral predator at retail, but this is a fun exclusive, right? This is not essential. Your collection's not going to be incomplete without it, but it's a cool variant for Comic-Con.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Now, can I ask, Randy, listen, now that I have a kid, right? I don't take the Funkos out of the box, and my kid wants to rip through every single box.
Just do it.
Right?
Go ahead.
And I had a Green Ranger that I was really trying to keep preserved. It was good, especially after the dude died and all that stuff. And he just tore through the box. I see the awesome things behind you. Does it hurt your soul when people buy your stuff that's so collectible and then opens it up and plays with it, or no?
No, definitely not. Because I open my stuff too, or if it's something that's super cool, packaging wise, I'm definitely one of those people that'll buy two, right?
Okay.
You want to keep it in the box or keep it preserved, but they're meant to be
displayed and open.
Are we really playing with them? No, but do we want to pose them or change them up? Or we're doing all these extra interchangeable heads and hands and parts and stuff, and you never utilize the stuff. It just lays there in the tray. It's what's the point? You can put it on your shelf and then take it down, swap some parts out, put it back up, and make it look different. So I think I prefer people to actually open this stuff. Appreciate the craftsmanship and the thought that goes into the packaging, because that is also like an art and important component that sells the toy. But I want you to open up the toy and enjoy it.
I was gonna say, I've got a drawer here at my desk full of like the heads. I've got hands in various places, different faces. Yeah,
Jordan, tell him about the. I don't know if he heard it when he was talking about gargoyles earlier, but Jordan's a big collector of gargoyles.
Oh my god! Yeah, one of my favorite lines. These are the two that I've got back here. The problem. Well, the issue that I have is that I ran out of space, and these things, like I'm lucky enough to have Goliath's wings that are down, but as you can say, Demona back there, the wings are massive. I'm like, these things are like massive. So I've got a lot in box still. I'm still trying to get my hands on every one of them. Where like when you guys first started announcing them and putting them out, you were doing them very limited. So like, okay, Goliath, and then you could do this one. I'm like, oh, good, they're doing it slow, and then all of a sudden it was this just rush of characters. I'm like, fuck. I gotta get a hold of. I need Xanatos. I need Elisa Massa. I need all this stuff, and I'm just like, I can't keep up, and I gotta start getting the rest of them because they're one of my favorite lines. And you're right, it was very underutilized property. They were very very little. One of my favorite ones that you did was the Goliath, but as the video game. Game paint job, and I was like, that is super cool because it looked like the old Nintendo box.
Yep.
So that one stays in box because that one's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all that stuff.
Yep. That was also like a nod back to several years ago. We were doing a lot of 8-bit and 16-bit homages where everything was painted in like pixelated.
I love those. When you did the Nightmare on Elm Street and then the Friday the 13th video game ones.
Yeah.
I love those.
Face. Yeah,
that Jason really like blew up and set that whole thing on fire. And that was one we did at San Diego, probably like 10-ish years ago, something like that. I've lost track at this point, but 10 or 11 years ago. And then that jump started a whole line. And then of course everyone started doing, video game colors and video game homages. But we were first, so it was cool.
Well, that's what I love about when I collect stuff from NECA versus like say Funko. Funko jumps on like the what's new bandwagon versus you guys doing all like the retro stuff. Like one of my favorite things that I'm going to try to get my hands on is the Tiny Toon, the Toon line of the original monsters.
Yeah,
like the monster pack. And I'm like, those are super cool because like I got my son, he's 8, into horror movies, but not like the crazy versions of everything. I got him the Toon
Freddy
version.
vs. Jason. Gotcha.
Yep, that was his first one. No, but I got him the Sam, the Toon one, and it's like it's cartoony enough for him to enjoy being a part of that fandom without being too crazy. So like, there's always something for everybody, and I love the way they look. And then there's the what is it? The Ben Cooper costume line coming to Walmart.
Yeah.
I remember dressing up. Those were my Halloween costumes. I've got pictures just as Darth Vader where I have a mask, but then I'm wearing Darth Vader's face on this
last
plastic
Halloween.
sheet. It was last. If I can get my hands on those, I would. But as soon as I saw the Ben Cooper ones, I was like, well, I actually got to get I got to get those too, because that just reminds me of growing up in the 80s, trick-or-treating with those exact, maybe not the exact costumes, but those types of costumes. Right. And it's just it's fantastic, the nostalgia that comes with all that.
That's what fuels most, and that's what I enjoy the most. So thinking of stuff like that and coming up with that kind of thing, and that's one of my favorite lines that we brought to market in the last several years, and the response has been insane. And so far we've only shown just like those kind of generic Ben Cooper, Collegeville, they were all unlicensed, right? It was just their version of like a zombie or a
it was like witch and Dracula.
Yeah, and skeleton. Like it was all just like very plain, but they're all super cool. And if we didn't wear those costumes, we at least knew a kid in the neighborhood who did. We recognized them, and those were Halloween from like the 60s till the end of the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So we have a lot more coming in that line. It's pretty insane. We'll show some of it at San Diego because we've only really shown the first wave and then a sneak peek at wave 2, which those 2 figures that are going to Walmart first, but they will be available elsewhere after. But that's only part of wave 2. And right now, like today, I was working on wave 7.
Jesus.
So, and
yeah, that's going to be my new obsession. Take your time because I am running out of money.
Well, they're more affordable, right? Like
That's
they
cool.
don't have all the extra stuff. There's not a billion accessories and a ton of things, and we're using more or less the same base or buck body underneath. It's like a male or a female child, and then it's different heads, different ethnicities, which is more the paint or skin tone than anything else, right? And then head, hands, feet, in like a bag or a pail. But we're keeping them at $20 or less, so they're affordable.
Every box comes with a thin piece of rubber band that used to go around your head that would snap every time. The masks that cut the inside of your eyes because the plastic was sharp. I love
and
those.
And to check the candy for razor blades or cyanide.
Right.
That'd be, no, I guess not. I was going to say that'd be a good marketing gimmick to start putting stuff into boxes like there might be a razor blade in the candy and everything. Because that never happened really. It was just an old wives' tale. But yeah, you can't sell it like that. Also, people, if you don't know that a lot of NECA stuff is available at Target. They have their own section there. It's usually right in the where like the books meet electronic video game kind of section. So you'll have like the Funko area, other miscellaneous stuff, and then there's a whole rack of NECA stuff front and center.
Yeah, we have the whole back wall of the entertainment section there. We have similar space in Walmart as well, and then Best Buy has really expanded as they've gotten away from physical media like Blu-rays. They've gone
and video games,
collectible,
a lot of figures. So we have expanded there a lot in the last year, especially with Ninja Turtles and horror. And I think 25 will have even more stuff there as well.
I was going to say, I know next year is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. I'm going to need some more stuff from Jaws because that's
I've got a bunch in the pipeline.
I was going to say, because today is the official 49th anniversary. I was like, 50 is going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, if we were doing this from NECA right now, I have the Jaws pinball machine outside at NECA, and we have a bunch of figures on deck for next year. And
which
more.
Pinball machine, though? Do you have the deluxe or the regular?
I believe
I played both.
I believe it's the premium, but I have to double check. Stern hooked us up.
Does it have that extra
with the
layer?
leather seats and the air conditioning, not the roll down windows.
Right.
They had the power windows.
Yeah, they had a gaming convention back here in March in Phoenix, and I went and they had them out there, and I got to play both, and it was so fun to play those things.
Jordan
I
is
just
firmly
spent
pressing
hours.
under the table there, trying to hide his excitement for all of this.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you do come out for New York Comic Con this year, I'll talk to Randy. Maybe it'd be possible we could pop over to NECA and you could just take a look and see what it is that they do and their
that
warehouse
Willy
and all
Wonka
that
type situation. I'd just be like,
yeah,
the door is always open there. I haven't seen you in ages. I run into Trevor at concerts and stuff all the time, and I'll listen to him on the radio when I'm doing the morning commute.
right. Well, I haven't been out your way, and I've only been at New York. I stopped going to San Diego because it just wasn't worth doing the last few years, but I'm always at New York, but you stopped going to the cons altogether, so
yeah
you've outgrown that.
I don't do a whole lot of this stuff anymore, but you are a dear friend, old dear friend, so I was happy to jump on. I kind of just stay out of the spotlight anymore and just make my stuff, make my toys, play with my toys.
See, this is what happens when a person is actually happy in their life, and it's really disgusting and despicable. You just don't want to go out there and mix it up anymore. He's like, I'm living a good life. Leave me alone. And I can't
I
blame
don't need
him.
people. I've got a whole store full of toys I can hang out with.
Don't get confused. You go to his Yester Toys over in what town again? Chatham. And you go in there. It's not really a store. It's just him showing off what he has. It's like, hey guys, come on in. Yeah, browse. How much is this? It's not for sale. It's all
No
mine.
price tags.
Yeah,
1,000 rubles.
He's got like a ball pit full of plushies back there. He just dives in.
It's a barter system. He just uses it to trade for the things that he's trying to get his hands on.
Got to also bring up that Randy has always been very generous with his time coming on every version of this show, from the satellite years to the iHeart stuff and anything else that we've done, the live cons, the specialty events, even giving tours over at NECA. He's been very cool, and he's also been very generous too with product that we've given away on the air and some stuff for people on the show and what have you. He's given me two things that I cherish dearly. One of them is actually mounted over there, so I'm not going to take it off the wall right now, but he gave me the Skyhook from BioShock Infinite. So that weapon's over there, but the one that is my all-time favorite is right here.
I knew it. I knew you were going to pull that out. God, you had that thing.
That's
in the
why
bathroom
he
the last
couldn't
time I
get
saw
out of
you.
his chair.
The portal gun from Portal.
Loves that portal
See,
gun.
you put the blue one over there, and then the orange one goes over here, and then you just put your hand through the wall, and it comes through the other side of the screen. It's fantastic.
That's really cool.
I know.
That was a good one. They had a good run. We did a lot of cool stuff with Valve. That's cool that you still have it.
I love it. I
You
love
guys
it.
Portal
too,
gun's awesome.
talking about the anniversary show before. I was at that one. I didn't realize that was the first time Trevor was around, but in the brewery, and it was like 5 million degrees, and
Thank you.
Ramo had done the artwork for you, and
Yeah, you were there. Randy was there. Black Lou. Well, he's known as Black Lou now on the bonfire on Sirius XM. But Lewis Johnson was a producer for a while. He was there. And Matt G was still on the show. Giddles. Yeah, it was a good time that was had by all. I think that was our second year. We were giving out
Was
those Super Mario Brothers posters.
yep.
Dementor Dimension Brewery.
Demented Brew. I don't think they're in business anymore, but Demented Brew.
No.
They're the ones that invented that strawberry shandy kind of beer that you could only get if you went to their tasting house and stuff, and you just go and you can fill it up. They couldn't sell it in the stores, but you go there. It was fantastic. I do want to remind everybody, because that is why Randy's here, that next week you can do the online pre-sales June 26th, 27th, and 28th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern on the 26th. Go to thenecastore.com, and that page will be up and loaded and ready to go at 12 Eastern on that day, the 26th, and you can start and fight online. It would be great if they have it set up like Ticketmaster. It's like, all right, I'm online, I get in, and then you find out you're in an invisible waiting room with like 300 other people just to get into the next invisible waiting room and open to score Taylor Swift tickets.
I think there's probably some bot captcha and some other stuff to fight the bots and all the nonsense that goes on in the toy game and sneaker game and all that. We do what we can through Shopify to combat the shenanigans, and we do have someone who goes through, and if there's like a repeat order or same credit card, the whole thing gets canceled. We try to level the playing field as much as we can to give everyone a fair shot.
And I saw that point get a lot of press and on a lot of different websites and social media outlets where they were talking about NECA will just cancel your order if it even comes off remotely suspicious, that they'll just go, nope, done, sorry, and then just make it available to the next person. They're not even going to bother. They're fighting all the bots, and it's impossible to get online nowadays. Like we knew through, I keep mentioning Funko because that's the other big company that does what NECA does for these kind of situations, and it's just you get on there, it's like, all right, I'm on, it's 11 a.m., it's 8 a.m. Pacific time, and then you're sitting there waiting, and then you finally get in, it's like 5 minutes after, and the stuff you want is already sold out, and you're like, how is that even possible? But NECA is really going above and beyond to try to prevent the bot farming and all those multiple sales for resales and what have you, which is great to have. Randy, is there anything else that we forgot to mention or need to mention?
No, I think that's it. If you want to come by anytime the studio, let me know.
Well, I want to come by your shop. Now that I know where it is, I want to come out there and check it out.
Far from you, anytime. Just let me know. I'm usually only here on the weekend because during the week I'm, making toys, and we have a lot of new stuff that will get revealed and debuted at San Diego. Besides the exclusives, some big new movies that we're doing toys for, and now hard at work on 2025. I was out in LA earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday working on some 2025 business. So we never stop. Machine just keeps rolling on. But it's fun. There's a lot of good stuff, and new licenses and new movies and classic nostalgia stuff. Something for everyone.
When can we expect a horror crossover with Bluey?
I don't think that's happening. My kids like Bluey a whole lot, and I've met with that team, but they're definitely staying very, very G. I think you'll see one of those crazy like Winnie the Pooh things from somebody, that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But,
I was going to say, it's just going to be Bluey walking up to Kurt Russell with a flamethrower, and you're going to realize what's going to happen to Bluey in a minute. You're like, ooh, I don't want that.
One last thing before you go, Randy. You guys did an amazing thing on April Fool's Day where it's almost impossible to get away with anything for April Fool's Day, because if you're listening to the radio, you automatically know it's going to be full of shit, and most people are putting stuff up online that you know it's going to be full of shit. But somehow what you guys did for April Fool's Day convinced everybody that this was actually going to be a thing. So they were announcing life-size figures of robots that are popular robots that were from like TV and movies and such. And one of them was Vicky from Small Wonder. And you got me, because usually I'm very skeptical on that. And I was like, really? Well, NECA, all right, that seems like something NECA would do. Then the second post, and this is what sold me on the first post, because I was skeptical a little bit. The second post was this.
Yeah.
Was the Megan doll, 1:1 ratio replica life-size doll. Now, I knew that was going to be a thing, and I go, holy shit, they're making Vicky, which is in his wheelhouse of being like an obscure, underutilized 80s property. And then it was revealed later, and it's like, I can't, the amount of people, no, we're not actually making this. People were trying to order it, trying to find out when they could get online for this thing. And, but this is real. So if you like that movie Megan, or if you're into like haunted dolls, creepy shit like that, it's available on the NECA website right now. What is the it's a pre-order, but what's the price tag on this?
She's $500, $499. And she'll ship for fall, August, September timing. We're looking good for that. And yeah, we had done like Chucky and Tiffany, so like you said, it was certainly plausible that we would do another life-size doll, and Vicky from Small Wonder sort of fits in with Alf and all this other stuff. So yeah, people really took that as true, and we're like, oh, okay, that's a little strange, but maybe. But yeah, Megan is for real. We've got someone in China right now working at the factory to get everything right, because she's posable.
Does she talk?
She does not talk. You can supply your own voice, or
we all know what people are going to use this for, right?
I don't want to think about that.
Can they put her in a corner with a knife and just leave it to wait for somebody else to come home, and they walk into the living room and that thing's standing there waiting for them?
Stick it in my kids' room when they're asleep, just so you hear screams.
They wake up and it's leaning over the bed.
It is creepy. Like, we had her in the studio for a while, just standing around, and it's like you forget it's there, and you come around the corner and it's like gives you pause, because there's this creepy little thing. It's 45 inches tall, I think, something like that. It's like 55 inches tall. It's, I got kids. It's like as big as my daughter. It's like, you forget it's around, it's, but it's identical to the one in the movie. Last year I got to go with one of my coworkers to review the actual screen used one and take measurements and photos, and we got like a swatch of her hair and the pattern for the clothing. Like, everything is as exact as you possibly can for a affordable consumer product. And she stands on her own. She's totally, you can move the eyes around, so you can make the pupils follow you around the room. It's creepy as hell and super cool.
I was going to say, how many of these things realistically would you guys produce? I mean, I know like with the figures, it's probably easier to put out a bunch of them, but I mean, this has got to take some time being this big and this meticulous.
Yeah, it definitely takes time to produce, and we put the pre-order up, like Eric said, starting the beginning of April. So we are trying to gauge the order as best as possible and manufacture based on what we've seen in the pre-orders.
Wow.
We've roughly got about 4 months from when we started the pre-order to when we're going to ship the first batch. And then also you run into a problem because it's so big. We're not talking about like a little figure like what's
right.
Right? How many of these you can actually fit in a container? It's almost like shipping, like a refrigerator or something, because it's a big box. It's substantial. And
does it all come in one piece?
It does come in one piece. Yeah.
So by doing this, you're almost like when you're ordering merch from somewhere and they're using those companies that on demand, or print to order. kind of thing. So by doing the pre-sale for this long, you're almost doing that. It's like built to order for like, wow, we've got 5,000 pre-orders.
Right. Yeah, we try to gauge and like forecast against it. Obviously, like we're making them ahead of time, so not all the orders will come in, or people have to wait till they have money, or whatever the case may be. But it gives us at least a basis, some kind of actual data to forecast against and figure out what our initial run is going to be. But they're hard at work on a second film, so this will be a great
tie-in for it.
Bridge in between Megan 1 and Megan 2, and then depending on when and what happens with the sequel, maybe we'll be doing a second version.
I was gonna say, for those staying around for segment 2, there's actually a spin-off coming from the Megan franchise, and gonna be talking about that later. So
you have that tie-in with Target. Why don't you just bring it into like the kids section, put it as a mannequin display, and then you have the price tag there that somebody could actually buy it.
Just throw it. Like I said, just throw a bluey shirt on it. You'll sell tons.
Oh
of
yeah.
You'll do well with this. Randy, thank you so much, my friend, for coming on. You're always very generous with your time. And
I'm here.
No,
we're good.
I thought Eric was broken.
No.
We actually should have, I know you say you're not going, but we should have our first like production samples in the booth even at San Diego, because we're at the time by that point where we'll be almost shipping. So that's anything we've shown or that's been photographed so far was like initial prototype, but we'll have what's like almost final or right off the pre-production line for Comic-Con.
All right.
That'll be cool.
Fantastic.
Randy and I are going to hang out in September, I just found out, and I can't freaking wait, man.
Cool. Yes.
I bought those tickets as soon as it came out. We're going to Berserker Fest.
Ooh.
Yes. Fun.
So, Eric is out of his element. There's now 3 people on the show currently that are into actual music and concerts, and he's just like curmudgeoning me up in his basement.
No, I'm not. I go out of the house and the studios. Awesome. I go places.
Eric, this is an awesome summer of music, my friend.
I've got so much concerts I'm going to.
Oh yeah, funny. I just got another one today that I'm going to. But we're going to Berserker Fest. We're going to drink some beer, look at some good cars. I'm going to see Randy on the side of the stage and be jealous and reach out to him, like Jack reached back for that fucking board that Rose wouldn't let him on, and
Randy will make eye contact with you and then turn away like he doesn't know who you are, and it'll be fantastic. It's usually
a few phone calls.
Randy, again, NECA Online and the NECA store starting the 26th through the 28th, 12 p.m. Eastern on the 26th. Go there and start pre-ordering all your San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. And the life-size doll for Megan is available for pre-order right now. You can just go over there and do all of that. And then if you're in Chatham in New Jersey, go over to Yester Toys and see Randy. He's there on the weekends. Who's running it during the week? You have staff?
Family, especially now that the
kids are out of school. You make them work.
It's the honor system.
Yeah, it's like kids, you want room and board. You gotta get here, and they learn Square at point of sale, and they know about toys from their old man. Yeah, so the wife and the kids are here, man, in the shop. While I'm doing the 9 to 5, and then I'm here hanging on the weekend. Usually, I'll try to drag one of them with me, but once in a while, I'll let them go to the pool, and I'll just chill
and live like a child and enjoy the summer.
You want healthcare?
All right, Randy, thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, great seeing you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Take care,
man.
Randy Falk from NECA Online, NECA Toys, all that fun stuff. I love Randy. When Randy's on. Like, I think the two old
hair.
I was going to say, I didn't notice it at first, and then he did this, and he it's just this rope of hair. I'm like, damn.
Son of a bitch. He does cosplay for the Misfits. He'll go to a Misfits show, and he's got his hair. It's like the world's largest rat tail in the back. It's all there, and then it comes over his head. Like, it starts from here, almost like Pebbles Flintstone. It just hangs over, and
he does a great Jerry Only.
Yeah, he's insane, but I love him. He's a good dude. Trevor, you got to go in a little bit. You got radio in the morning tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You seem concerned. Okay.
Yeah, right. No, it seems pressing.
I actually once I get off with you guys, I gotta go do another show, and then
you got Woody's show to do. Yeah.
I got that show. Oh, I got 2 shows to do. And then I'm on tomorrow morning in New York City from 5 until 10, Jim Kerr Rock and Roll Morning Show. And then I will also be on in the afternoon, doing the afternoon show for our Friday afternoon happy hour. Saturday, I'll be on the air, I don't know.
So you're not busy then?
I'm not busy at all. So
Jesus.
check me out at Trevor on the radio on Instagram. My OnlyFans is that's the thanks for having me back on. It was nice talking to you, gentlemen. I hope to see you guys. I believe I'm going to be a part of another episode soon. Eric told me, but unless he says I drink too much, so I probably won't actually make it to that episode.
I didn't. Well, you do, but I never said that to you. You just implied, and you were correct. You're
all right. Well, okay, time. Rewind for a second. We're going to the biggest radio convention of the year with some of the top tier talent. All right, and the one thing we didn't talk about, is like, I wore that goofy outfit because what I came down to.
I love doing that outfit. I just loved how
I actually requested Eric to tell you to wear it again.
Well, what it came down to was, I have another one for this year. Was wear a collar,
right,
and you're good. So both of those things had collars. So listen, there was guys there definitely in the sport jackets with these cigars hanging out with the big wigs. And then there was guys there in gold, like glitter jackets. And I'm like, I have to be somewhere in between that. And it was 110 freaking degrees.
Yeah.
All right. So I was like, I got to make a statement that I'm there, but at the same time, be taken seriously. So I went.
No
with
one's taking that seriously. Maybe the guys with the cigars would be like, hey, bring Pinky over here and we'll all hang out, have some bourbon and cigars.
What do you do? I'm like, I do a morning show.
Right.
He looks like he's some fun. Let's bring him with us.
I want to go hang with the execs and try to, land some big money.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
I made an amazing friend. Then I ignored her for a week. It was awesome.
Was she in the chat earlier today?
Absolutely. And
hello, Kara.
So shout out.
Yeah.
And so now you're going this year, and you've decided that you are going to do an episode of this program, I believe.
Yeah, we're bringing the show to San Diego.
Three straight days of a radio conference. So after the final goodbye party, you plan on doing the show.
Yeah, but it's just going to be hanging
Or if I even go to the final goodbye party, that's not important to me. So,
who are you going to talk to?
Well, the final one's the iHeart party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So maybe we have to do that. But it's kind of
the app.
A big deal. But no, we're gonna. I think we're setting up a poolside on the roof. We're gonna be doing it there, and other people are gonna stop by and hop on the program. My buddy Sean Tempesta, who does mornings in Vegas, he's coming on.
I yelled at him last year.
You yelled at Sean for what?
Nice.
I said, you're the guy who does the videos that Eric Nagel likes.
Yeah, I used to be on his show that he did during COVID.
Yeah, that's all I said to him the whole entire time. I had a habit of just yelling things at people because I saw them on Instagram, but like that guy, I was like, you're the guy that Eric Nagel likes.
What did he say?
Yes, I am.
Sean's the best.
Then it got a little fuzzy for 4 days.
Yeah, he's coming on. BJ, Shay, and Sarah are coming on. I think Carla Marie and Anthony are going to stop in. And whoever else wants to... I love BJ too. Whoever else is around and wants to come by, they're more than welcome to pop in because it's going to be me and Jordan. I think Hollywood agent Rob Stark's going to be there too with us, and it'll be a fun time. We're going to just do the show poolside. They offered us like some kind of conference room to set up to do the show there, and I didn't want to do it there. I said,
no fun.
Well, it made sense when they were explaining. It's like, well, then it'll be less crowded. It won't be noisy. And I said, no, I want to be outside. I want to be around all of that as we're doing the show because it doesn't need to be perfectly quiet for it. So
there's that energy that's going to come from that and just the ambiance of it. It's just going to be fun.
Every time we did the shows in San Diego, we were either outside by the bay there, or we were on the floor. So you want the noise, the surroundings of a live event while you're doing it. It makes it special.
Yeah, I mean I've never been to San Diego. I'm very excited for it. I learned I hate Dallas, and so I decided to try to explore Dallas.
He was literally flew in from Dallas today.
I was there for the last 3 days.
I've been to Dallas 2 times now, and it's been terrible both times. But
he's trying to reenact the presidential shooting.
He was
Dude,
laying on the X while the stoplights were on and the traffic was. Yeah. Do you know you can get a ticket for that? By the way.
Really?
Right, the main causeway that's coming in to where the X is marked on that highway there, where the president was shot. A little bit further
Allegedly.
back is allegedly. A little further back is an actual intersection that has traffic lights that blocks the traffic from coming at some point. So people, if you're out there and the cops are around, they'll give you a ticket for standing on the X. It's not like Abbey Road where they encourage all of that, but it would be funny if you're doing the Abbey Road pose right over the X, because we're like, this guy does not know where he is. But
we just dressed up like you're in what was that? Not Pulp Fiction.
Good
with
one.
The dead presidents, where you're just standing there.
Point Break?
Point Break.
With the big rubber masks? Okay.
Yeah, you're just standing at the ex-presidents on
Surfboard.
the X.
I was walking down the street of Dallas, and I'm like, where are all those people standing in like the middle of the street? I had no idea. And then my buddy goes, turn around, and I'm like, book deposit. I don't get the correlation for. And it took a minute, but yeah.
Trevor, that
Starbucks
millennial
wasn't
shit
there the
doesn't
last
pass
time.
anymore, that you can get away with not knowing things.
No, I didn't know like where I was. I was just wandering around downtown Dallas because I was trying to do.
Were you day drinking? Were you enjoying some martinis?
that day?
Yeah.
That was another radio conference. But anyway,
So
I remember
yes.
I got on the bus, right? And it's like 4 of us heading to downtown. And we said to the person, like, hey, we're only in Dallas for one night. We want to do something like authentically like Dallas. Like, where should we go eat? Like, I'm like looking for a steak or deer. I don't know what the fuck they eat down there. And the lady was like, you're in luck. You're just they a brand new TGI Fridays as soon as you get off the bus down the street.
Did.
I'm like, motherfucker! I came all the way from Jersey for that, and then you
And
know,
you went there because that lady said to go there?
No, we went to Macaroni Grill. So then we
Much better.
much
They
better.
have more deer there.
And then I was thinking, like, you know,
Only because
cowboy
Bonefish
boots.
Grill had a line out the door, so we went to Macaroni Grill.
You know, I'm thinking cowboy boots, some hats, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you go and
then
find
also-
like authentic, like look, a steak restaurant or a restaurant,
Garden.
steakhouse or a
I'm
barbecue
looking
place.
for horses and stuff like that. All of a sudden, I just hear. I'm like, what the? There's just
The bus
one
was
guy with a
coming?
One guy with a cowboy hat giving a Segway tour around the city,
Yeah, I've heard those are.
and I'm like, this place sucks. I hate it. And then
I got
no
taken
one would finish the Stars at Night thing that he kept doing. and he
after
just
the
got so
shows were
frustrated.
done. I got taken to an amazing Brazilian steakhouse for some
We
radizia.
saw the pictures.
It was
so yeah, you went to Dallas
Amazing.
for Brazilian food.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Fantastic.
for a Brazilian steakhouse. Yeah,
I
I went
there
for
twice.
Tex-Mex for lunch.
Being there twice, I regret one thing: not getting Whataburger.
Oh, I did that.
He did that too.
I did it.
I didn't get it.
I will say
have to
this.
say.
Listen to me, people who have a Whataburger in your area. That patty melt is probably one of the best things I've ever had at a fast food burger place ever.
Put up the
Like I
PO
say,
box.
I may go.
That might be up there on par with the sourdough Jack at Jack in the Box. That patty melt at Whataburger with the creamy pepper sauce, oh my God, was fantastic.
You should have seen, like, he sent us the picture of his spread, and he had one of the trays, and you know, you get a burger, fries, or whatever. He had like
I
four
was
burgers, he
sampling.
had
I
4
bought a bunch of
items.
different stuff because they're not here.
I was jealous. I was like, please eat the whole thing. Like, just be happy.
It was so good.
Just picture in his hotel room with his shirt off, and he's got them all lined up on his belly.
No, shirt off in the restaurant. I'm not leaving. I'm not making extra stops. Sitting right there
we have
enjoying
them
that.
here.
I was on that later that night. I was on my way to In-N-Out Burger because that was near the hotel, and I was about to leave. I was talking to you guys. I was about to leave, and it was closing in 5 minutes. So there was no way I was going to make it.
Well, and I'm glad you did the Whataburger bit, because I know that in San Diego you're gonna get the In-N-Out, and I'm like, well, you can't get it there, so make your choice.
I'm not doing
like,
In-N-Out in San Diego. I'm doing Jack in the Box.
Well, yeah, you. Do
Oh,
that
I've
too.
never done. I'll do some. Yeah.
We're going to Jack in the Box, and then one night we're going down to the Ghirardelli chocolate factory, and we're gonna go eat there.
There's a couple places that I know that have some really good Mexican food, like cheap.
Yeah, I would like to do that
They're really
too.
good.
But oh wait, it's not during San Diego. All right, that's great because
we'll
every
be fine.
time the convention has something, not even just San Diego Comic-Con, but anything going on at the convention, all those restaurants in the Gas Lamp District have prefix menus. So you go in, you're like, oh, I heard this place is great. And it's like, oh, it's only these 7 items on here that we're serving today. It's like, and those conventions ruin everything for fine dining.
I'll take you to a place where you can get a burrito that has rolled tacos in the burrito.
Do we go down like to
it's
Old
the most
Town?
family. It's fantastic.
Or do we stay in the
I'll have to get the
Gaslamp?
address. I think it's outside of the Gaslamp.
Okay.
But I'll have my car, so I
Yeah.
can drive us wherever.
Trevor, if you want to come around and enjoy some of that stuff, you're more than welcome to.
I would love to. I'm trying to hit up Pacers, Goldfingers, and Deja Vu.
Is
So we got
Goldfinger's a
Jared-
strip club?
Yes.
You're
Nice. They have a good shrimp salad.
Yeah. 2-for-1 steak and,
Jared the Geek says you got to have Tommy's and Slater's 50-50. I've had Slater's 50-50. Their quality had gone down. Basically, that's where I first had like a Guinness milkshake, and they have specialty burgers. Like they're good. Like half the patty. Their big thing is
What
their-
is
their
Slater's?
It's a hamburger place where the hamburger is like 50. The whole thing is Slater's 50-50 is 50% beef, 50%
Miscellaneous.
bacon. No, bacon.
Mystery
so
meat.
it's like it's just all mixed together. And
Oh, that does sound
it's
good.
good, but like there are better places.
Okay. Rob Stark
Slater's
is saying we're going to Salt and Straw, jerks.
We
You
are.
are. I am not. I will. Every time Rob sends me the new specials updates every week or month or whatever it is, it's always like, oh, it's this cool kind of French vanilla bean kind of thing. Oh, look, it's got
Roasted
lavender
ants.
in it. It's like, what are you doing? You just put all this nonsense flavoring into all this shit. I don't want it. Here's honeysuckle and jalapeno.
We're gonna end up at Shake Shack with Rob, aren't we?
I don't want to
He's
go.
gonna
No,
be
I'm
like,
going to Giardelli's. I don't
right,
want a
good.
milkshake. I want dark chocolate. That'll be fun. Let's see. We are going. You will love it and beg for my forgiveness, jerk. Okay. Well, if he's
What is this, my
paying, then
daughter?
maybe I'll go with it. Jordan drives. Rob pays. I'll go wherever you guys want to go. I'm
There you
visiting. We're visiting Rob's town there.
We'll be driving Mr. Lazy.
Trevor, I look forward to seeing you. It's about a month and a half. Month and a
6
half.
weeks away.
6 weeks away.
Yeah, I'm
month and a
taking
half.
the red eye. I'm gonna be there first thing Wednesday morning.
I'm gauging the whole thing by my concert schedule.
Wait,
so
you're
yes,
going. You
we're-
said
we're
you were
good.
going Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
So you're going to be there Tuesday night,
I'm landing at like 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I'm flying in Wednesday.
because I want to go
early
explore San
midday.
Diego. I want to go explore San Diego on Wednesday, and then the party kicks off Wednesday night,
Yeah.
and then it's just a bunch of mingling and networking, and only serious things. Nothing bad ever happens at conferences away from home.
Trevor is going to turn into a Belushi in Animal House at the hotel,
I'm gonna die.
walking around in bed
Just smashing
sheets.
people's guitars.
Look, I'm a
everywhere.
zit, spitting on execs. It's going to be a fun time.
This is what I learned. If you think you're going to get fired after a conference, you're going to get promoted.
So I
there
should
you go.
go there and start pissing off people.
That worked for me.
Well, I might have
As-
a lot of free time on my hands very soon, so I'll be open to new opportunities. What happened? Leg cramp?
Wubba
Charlie
lubba dub
horse?
dub.
Cramps?
No, wubba lubba dub dub.
Oh, all right.
It's his motto.
Do we still talk about Rick and Morty?
They haven't done anything. They did a season last year that nobody mentioned or watched or
It's
anything.
with the new voices, and everyone just didn't say a thing about it.
No one cared anymore. I think the excitement for Rick and Morty's gone. It's done.
My kids love it.
That's because that's a perfect movie for a perfect show for a 3-year-old.
What, dude?
I mean,
I love all the characters.
Okay.
He calls him Ricky.
Your kid's going to be belching and drooling out of his mouth just like Rick. Proud father. Anyway, Trevor, thank you for coming to hang out. Are you going to do you got to do your video for next week, right?
Oh, it's $12.99 for the monthly subscription, but I do pay-per-views.
All right, we're not dealing with that. He's just being. I'm kidding. No.
What's the video? What do you need again?
We'll talk offline. We'll talk about all that. Jordan's putting all this together.
So much work.
It's not. It's not. It's very little, if anything. It's asking.
You wanted me to take a picture of myself today?
Yeah, and you didn't.
just your feet.
So I had to go and search through your Instagram and use the photo that I took for the thumbnail for this episode.
You said I need a picture of you.
Yes.
Never gave me a timeline.
I said, I need a picture of you standing in front of a blank wall. I said today.
No.
Didn't I say today? Hold on.
Hold on. I want to know too. By the way, I need a good photo of you for the thumbnail.
Yeah, for
Can
this
you take
episode.
a photo against the blank wall. I didn't know it was live. I haven't listened to this show since I've been fired.
Well, that's
a ringing
lovely.
endorsement.
So here you go.
We'll definitely need that video for next week.
Here's the thumbnail for this episode. There we go.
Oh, great. Looks like I'm grabbing Randy's ass.
It is.
Nice.
There you go. So
perfect.
Worked it out. The magic of Photoshop.
All right, let me know what you need from me.
All right. Trevor, thank you so much. Go and do the 19 radio jobs that you have, and I will talk to you soon.
And I will see you all next time.
All right. Bye-bye, sir. The lovely Trevs and Devs on the show. Back. It was nice to have him back. We should have him back more often, but he does mornings, so it's
I was going to say, he sounds busy.
Yeah, and he's on one of those morning shows that's on at 5 a.m.
It's ridiculous.
Which I know I asked him about that once, and he said, there was all kinds of research and saying that there's really a lot of people listening at that time, and they prefer it. But I came from the world of 6 to 10 in the morning, and even that was pushing it when you worked it. Or in school, I was not getting up at 6. Sometimes it was like 6 something that I wake up because the clock radio alarm went off and I'm listening to whatever. But you can't say that Trevor doesn't have the work ethic. And
I was going to say he's pushing. I mean, it's funny talking to him after a couple years where it feels just like old Trevor, just more sober-ish.
No, Jared, you were right the first time. Dully clothed Trevor. He meant fully, but no. If we didn't already have the show title, that might have been the episodes. All right. So we don't really have anything here for the news stuff. We got to go. Well, we can save all this for another time.
Yeah.
This is all fine. I do want to say, I don't want to promote. I just want to point out Donald Sutherland passed away today. The original Hawkeye Pierce from the movie MASH that influenced the television show. The book influenced the movie influenced the television show. He was also the original Homer Simpson. That was his character. I forgot the name of the movie. I thought I wrote it down. If only we had something here that could pull that up. There it is. It is The Day of the Locust is the name of the film. It came out in 1975. And his character's name is Homer Simpson.
Nice.
And that is what influenced Matt Groening to name the character. So he's the original Homer Simpson. He's the original Hawkeye Pierce. He was the curator of the Springfield Historical Society.
Yeah, with Hans Sprungfeld.
Yes, and he was drinking his chicory while telling the kids about the history of Jebediah Springfield.
There's no silver tongue.
He was also in a movie that I love that nobody cares about, nobody talks about. It was just a movie that was loaded with star power, but no one really cared. Space Cowboys.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that
movie.
Fucking years.
It was him. It was Clint Eastwood,
Tommy Lee Jones, and I forgot who the last one was. Oh fuck!
It came out in 2000. Let's see. We're Donald Sutherland, James Garner. Yeah, they were old retired astronauts, pilots, what have you, and they needed to go back up and do another mission. James Cromwell was in that movie too.
Yeah, he was the guy running NASA that washed them out in the 60s and 70s and was their foil.
Go watch that movie. It was really good.
I love that movie.
All right. So yeah, unfortunately he passed away. Godspeed to Donald Sutherland.
88 years old.
There is a photo up on my Instagram for those who were writing to me today. Still waiting on your photo. I said, you're way behind. I posted that as soon as the news broke. It was right there. I was going to say,
I heard about the news, went to Instagram, there it was. And I was like, I have to comment.
Yep. So that has happened. And anything else we need to mention before going into segment 2?
No, not really. Most of that stuff can wait.
Okay. We will take a break. We will be right back.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next.
It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com.
We're back with It's Eric Nagel.
And we're back here with segment 2 of the program. Eric and Jordan going through television, movies, streaming updates, all of that stuff, letting you know what's good, what's bad, so you don't have to exert any energy or thought of your own, and you can just listen to our opinions as if it were gospel. Right?
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Jordan, we start off this segment always. What did you watch recently?
I did go see Furiosa in the theaters about 2 weeks ago. That was boring. That was really, really boring. I kind of liked Fury
Hater.
Road when it
White man didn't like the movie? Of course. Typical.
just hate women. Yeah, no, I just was
That
bored
movie
out of
did
my mind
not
on that
get
one.
good reviews and did not do well.
Well, the thing is that the reviews were good. No one went and saw it. Like, it made like $26 million the first
No, the
week.
audience reviews, not the critics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It dropped off there. It's going to be streaming, I think, this month. At the end of the month, they're going
course
to
it
throw
is.
it out on streaming because it's just no one went and saw it. Didn't make any money. And then, you think the box office is dead. And then like 2 weeks after that, Bad Boys came out and made like $150 million in the first weekend. So it's not that people aren't going to theaters. I think people are being very selective on what they see, and they just don't. They pick and choose now.
They're predicting for Wolverine next month, Deadpool and Wolverine next month, up to $250 million opening weekend.
Right. Oh, and then we've got some news in a little bit. Inside Out too. Breaking some numbers. So
Almost $300 million, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going to be crazy. I've been catching up on things that I've been wanting to watch on TV or streaming that I've never caught up with. Outer Range. I think I talked about that once before.
I do. I will go visit that at some point.
It's a good one, especially for us.
I still got to go finish The Expanse. I forgot I had that.
Oh, I know. I got to watch that too.
I got to go. I think it's been so long. I'm going to just start all over and start from the beginning.
That's kind of how I feel like with The Boys. Like, I just wanted to maybe just do a run of just all the episodes.
Well, they had a teaser thing to recap last season.
Well, that's good.
Before the new episodes that came out, because I watched the first. Oh, I didn't finish the second episode, so I'm 1.5 episodes in.
Gotcha.
And I think the fourth one just dropped this week, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
No, next week, I think. They dropped the first 3 episodes this week.
They did the first 3 last Thursday when we were on air, and then And then I've been watching a show that I've seen that I guess is 3 seasons in now. 2 seasons are on Netflix. Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk.
Oh,
He's
right. Yeah.
Yeah, an alien was going to kill everybody on Earth, and he's human now. I guess it's based off a comic book. I'm having a good time with it. It's kind of funny. I like Alan Tudyk. He's good in a lot of things. Since the Firefly days. So like him, got the 4th episode of The Acolyte done. I'm mixed. Like, some of it's cool, some of it's, garbage, but that's how it is most days. I'm not as hardcore about my love of Star Wars to the point where I have to hate everything like everybody else does and the internet does and whatever. Like what you like.
You must do what
Don't
the
like.
internet tells you, Jordan.
Apparently
Always and
so.
forever.
So, but I'm excited this weekend. I think I might double feature it, and I'm going to see The Bike Riders, and then I'm going to see maybe The Exorcism with Russell Crowe.
I'll wait for
I'll
that
have
to
more
come
to
on
watch.
streaming. I
I'm
want to
sure
watch
it'll
it.
be
I'm just
2
not
weeks.
going to the theater for that one.
So yeah, that's what I've been watching. Just, playing some games and
I
through the week.
I watched 1.5 episodes of The Boys. I've watched the first 3 of The Acolyte. I know the 4th one's out. I have to watch that. I watched the new Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, I heard.
Here's the problem. There's a bunch of problems with Doctor Who. But the last few episodes were actually okay. Like, they weren't bad stories.
Yeah.
This season isn't really suffering like the specials did in the beginning of the transgender actor controversy that people were getting upset with. The Doctor being gay doesn't really come into play until they just did like a Bridgerton episode, and they had to do a whole thing where he's courting another man that's there who turns out to be a bounty hunter, and then of course they have to kiss, and one sacrifices himself for the other, and you're just sitting there going, really? Does this? Okay, whatever, it's happening. And then you're like, all right, I'm done. I can't deal with the rest of this. The last episode was good, but then it dawned on me, some of these stories aren't bad. but he's not the right doctor to be in these stories. And if that makes any sense, like
it does.
There's previous doctors who had stories that you go, wow, that version of the doctor was perfect for that story. This version of the doctor doesn't have, he's very different than all the other doctors. He doesn't have a set outfit that you would see all the time to recognize, make him recognizable. Yeah, and, sell merchandise, which they're not doing. And the ratings are fucking piss poor. BBC's really losing their shirt over this. The doctor is overly flamboyant. So, like, when he comes out of the TARDIS, he's like, give me all the lovin', and saying things like that. And you're like,
he's too happy-go-lucky to get some of these darker storylines.
You're forcing it just to piss off the audience, or at this point.
Yeah.
But then when he's being serious and he's doing dialogue or monologuing and dealing with the situation at hand, he gets scared and afraid too quickly. None of the other doctors did. Like, they'd have moments where they're in fear of something, but almost everything's scaring this guy. He cries almost every episode. There's certain situations where it's very serious and there's some evil shit going on, and you go, he's not the right doctor to be in this story. Like, that last episode would have been perfect if it was like Peter Capaldi's doctor, or if it was Matt Smith's doctor. Like, it would have been taken much more seriously. And you're like, yeah, the characteristics of that doctor should have been in this story for what they're going for. It's just they're just misfiring in almost every direction. And but I do have to give credit where it's due. Several of the episodes from this season are good stories. It's just the wrong doctor is in these stories, and he's crying all the fucking time. He's got to stop with that. It's so annoying. But I think the last episode is this week. You can find it on Disney Plus, and then
how many episodes were they doing this
I think
season?
It's only 8.
Jeez, and
they did.
We're going to lose his companion for a new companion.
Well, apparently, but she I don't know. Apparently, she might be back for the second season too. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's mind-boggling how this goes. And look, when this season started, the showrunner in one article and the lead, the guy from what was the show he was on? Sex Education on Netflix. Shooty McGavin, who's playing the doctor currently. He said in a different article, it's like, look, if you don't like what we're doing and the way the doctor's moving, go outside and touch grass and get a hold of yourself. This show's not for you anymore. And the showrunner said, the show's progressing. The world's not how it used to be. This is the world now. So if you don't like it, don't watch this show, and this isn't for you, go away. It's like the show was almost canceled before Disney stepped in and threw a ton of money into investing in this, because the BBC still owns it, but they can't fund it because nobody's funding government television anymore, because people are buying streaming services and other private company stuff for their entertainment. They don't need the government television anymore, so BBC couldn't afford it. Now Disney's paying all this money for the international distribution rights outside of the UK. It's all on Disney Plus. The only ratings you're getting are what's on BBC and their iPlayer, and they're terrible. They're below 2 million people an episode, which is not good. And Disney doesn't give out any of the numbers for this stuff because it's probably not doing well. There's no merchandising for this thing. There's none of it.
I was going to say, I haven't seen anything for this new one.
There's
other
nothing.
Than what pops up on Disney Plus when you open it up.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing in Hot Topic. There's nothing in any of the other stores where you used to find Doctor Who stuff all the time. Nothing. So merchandising's in the toilet again. The ratings are in the toilet again. I don't know how. I mean, they already, I think, finished shooting season 2. They did both seasons consecutively.
Right.
We don't get season 2 till probably I think the next time we get is a Christmas episode, and then the beginning of next year. I don't know how this continues, because there's so many people online. This doctor's the best. He's my doctor. I love him so much.
I haven't heard anybody talk like that.
Read the comments in every social media post or YouTube thing that they put up there, Facebook thing, all for the official Doctor Who stuff. There's just people fawning over this guy.
Crazy.
He's not a terrible guy, but he's not the actor to be the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be good in other shows and stuff, but this is not the show he should have been cast in. And whatever. It's
like, do you think they should have gone from Jodie Whittaker's character being the first female Doctor to having the first black gay Doctor? Like, do you think they should have played?
That's why they brought David Tennant back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, should they have done a full season of the Doctor being the typical, I wouldn't say, like, the white guy Doctor? You know what I mean? Like, give someone that run again.
They brought him back as a buffer. I think that was the compromise. BBC saw that the previous run was disastrous,
right? With
Chris Chibnall as the showrunner and the female Doctor. Jodie Whittaker was fine, just the writing and the whole concept was terrible. So they said, we got to do something. They brought the original showrunner back, and they brought the most popular Doctor, David Tennant, back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made him gay in the specials because he was looking at a guy and realized he was flirting with the guy. And he goes, oh, is that who I am now? Oh, okay. Like that. And then the trans actor corrects him. It's like, you're just assuming those pronouns? And you're like, oh, come on, fuck off with all that shit. Anyway, everything's been down. The ratings, the revenue, the merchandising is non-existent. I don't know how they continue with this. I think if they finish the second season, if BBC either is going to sell off Doctor Who, probably to Disney, or if Disney goes and look, they already paid their money and they said, look, we're not getting the ROI for this. We're done after the second season. They have to force the regeneration and get another Doctor in there. They have to.
Yeah,
they got to bring it back to the level. It's not like you had an audience for the first two seasons. Now the third season, people don't like the changes that you made. You have a 60-year history of generational fans of all ages. There's older people that watch Doctor Who because they grew up watching it in the 60s that are still watching the show now. And you told all of them to fuck off in favor of this new niche genre of an audience that are all supposed to be about inclusion, and all they do is tell everyone to fuck off and exclude everybody from this shit. It's the reverse of Star Wars.
Just bring back Tom Baker. Yeah. That would be hilarious. He's 90
now. Yeah.
I
think if they force him out, I still am campaigning for the guy from Fantastic Beasts.
I don't know.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. Yeah.
Redmayne.
They just did. What is the awards show for, like, stage and, like, Broadway?
The BAFTAs?
And all that shit? No. That's
Tonys?
Yeah, they just did the Tony Awards, and he did a live version of whatever thing he's in. It's like the Bienvenue Welcome,
right?
And he's doing it, and he was so freaking weird and awkward. I'm like, I don't want to watch this guy on anything.
Would be perfect for the Doctor.
Maybe
he would be perfect for the Doctor.
Yeah, he did.
Don't do Cabaret in the Doctor, but look how he is.
It was just awkward, and it was just freaking. It weirded me out. Like, I don't
look how he is in that
musicals.
first Fantastic Beast movie.
Yeah, he was good as that.
He's kind of quirky, a little. He's
autistic.
Observant to everything. a little bit, yeah. Wearing tweed and stuff. He looked like he was the Doctor.
Yeah,
he'd be perfect for it. And the Doctor has had a long history of that. Every time he regenerates, he's disappointed because he's not a redhead. You could do that with Eddie. Go ahead and do it. Anyway, get off the Doctor Who shit. We got to move on for that. So I'm watching. I think that's all I've been watching. Oh, I got to watch. We're going to announce here. Shoresy season 3 is starting in the United States on Hulu.
Let's go to the out now. Hulu.
So that's out right now. Shoresy season 3 starting. I don't know if it's weekly. I don't know if they put out a few episodes. I'll have to go and look. But if you like Shoresy, it's the spinoff from Letterkenny, which also has ended. Funny. So, go and check that out. On Netflix, Remembering Gene Wilder. That's a documentary.
Yes, and it's on my list, and it looks so, like, just really good. Like, I love Gene Wilder. I think I watch Blazing Saddles every year. His character is just so funny, and it's just like, I think that looks like a good one.
What was that movie he did with Richard Pryor where they were...
Running Scared? No, that was
Stir Crazy?
May have been Stir Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, that one's good too. All right, that's on
he's
Netflix. I'll have to set it to my list and watch that.
Yep.
We had said The Acolytes episode 4 is on Disney Plus. In theaters right now, The Bike Riders and The Exorcism. Jordan mentioned earlier he's going to go and see that. The Exorcism stars Russell Crowe. It's not the Pope's exorcist. It's another movie where they made him a priest and an exorcist. But because they did that, then the other company announced, hey, we're going to do the Pope's Exorcist 2. So he's going to have a third movie where he plays an exorcist. Will they bring him back for Zeus for the MCU? Probably not, but he's going to have 3 exorcism movies.
Why not?
Why not? And then also a re-release. They're really pushing these re-releases because it's the only thing that's making the money in the theaters right now. June 23rd, South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut, the sing-along edition. From what I understand, I guess during the songs they're going to have the captions in there, so they encourage the audience to participate and sing Kyle's Mom's a Big Fat Bitch and Blame Canada and all of that. I would love to go to the theater and hear everybody doing their worst Cartman singing
Blame Canada.
Right.
Oh, I know they Disney does those a lot with some of their properties where they'll release, like they did Frozen and they did Frozen sing-along edition. So yeah, they just throw the captions up.
Why not?
Everyone gets to yell and scream in the theater. It's a whole thing. But they make their money.
Next week in the theaters, A Quiet Place Day One. Is that the third one they're doing?
Yeah, it's a prequel to the previous 2. So it's like you get to see it happen in real time. I was like, okay.
All right. Moving on. Entertainment news. Everybody's talked about this. Justin Timberlake was arrested for a DWI out in Sag Harbor, which is out on the east end of Long Island.
Yep.
I don't think that's really going to do anything for him. There was other things to him there, that he had all these drugs in his system and right away, and then it turns out that's not true at all.
No, they just got arrested. He hadn't been processed yet. He hadn't even gotten out the next day, and people were already saying, yeah, he was on Molly, he was on Coke. And I was like, okay, dude, first of all, they wouldn't have those results back right away.
Right.
Second, they wouldn't have released that. And third, shut up. Get off the internet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The man drank too much, got caught, blew through a stop sign, was swerving around, got caught. It's just going to happen. I think the bigger craziness of it is that he was in between shows. I think he had a show coming up in New York, or he just finished one in New York. So he's in the area. He's probably got family there. He's partying. The cop that arrested him was so young that didn't know who he was.
Right.
Which that's kind of funny. And I guess he muttered something like, "Oh, this is going to ruin the tour." And the cop was like, "What tour?" Like, oh fuck,
there was an article that said that there was describing him being arrested, and Justin Timberlake was once a prominent figure in the music industry. And you're like, what?
Bummer, man.
He may not have a hit on the radio right now, but he's still selling out a fucking tour.
Good. He another venue put out Troll Star Justin Timberlake. I'm like, oh no, that's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I like when they do the Donald Trump stuff, like, oh no, Home Alone 2 actor sentenced to this, and I was like, okay, that's kind of
former Mouseketeer from the '90s Mickey Mouse Club show. Justin Timberlake was pulled over today,
but Troll Star. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer way to go out.
Moving on, other actors and performers who have had bad luck. Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, cancels his final West End show because he fell off the stage.
Yeah, he was.
I was looking. Was there video of this? I didn't see anything.
I couldn't find video.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the time, if it's a stage show, there's probably not going to be video because they frown on that kind of thing.
Yeah, but they usually will record every night, either for security or for. Like what Broadway does, that for some kind of continuity thing, they have it for an archive so that every performance is recorded.
Well, if they have it, they haven't released it. But apparently he was performing a battle scene and then stepped off the stage. Like he just maybe missed his mark.
Right.
The crowd was evacuated. They canceled the rest of the thing, and he was hospitalized, but apparently will be making a full recovery. He even put out a statement. Since the accident during a performance of Player in Kings last night, my injuries have been diagnosed and treated with a series of experts, specialists, and nurses working for the National Health Service. To them, of course, I am hugely indebted. They have assured me that my recovery will be complete and speedy, and I'm looking forward to returning to work. The thing that bummed me out about hearing about this, he's 85, he's getting old, but this comes about a week or two after the reports of the new Gollum movie being announced, and him wanting, to maybe reprise Gandalf one last time, and he put out a statement saying, "Look, I haven't seen the script. I would gladly do it if I'm still alive." And I'm like, oh, he's getting older. Like, he's realizing his mortality. It's bumming me out.
I want to have him come in one last time as Magneto in the MCU.
Charles.
And then he falls off the Statue of Liberty. That's just every time he's somewhere, he falls off. Yeah, his electric powers aren't what they used to be. I did find a clip, by the way, of him falling off the stage here.
Oh, let's check that out.
I was a UN interpreter.
Oh, that was Kelsey Grammer. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
My bad.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Oh, Kelsey.
Oh,
I love
Kelsey.
it.
All right,
So,
moving on.
Speedy recovery. Hopefully, he doesn't have too much more issues going on.
We mentioned Inside Out breaking records, $295 million at the worldwide box office, landing it to be 2004's biggest theatrical debut so far. I loved the first one. I need to see the second one. I know.
I was gonna take the kids, but I hadn't gotten around to it.
I saw websites like The Nerdist were panning this thing. It's like, well, here's the problem with all the new characters and everything. The audience review has been through the roof.
Aaron saw it and he said it was fantastic.
Yeah, so you can't trust reviews from any critics.
Not at
If
all.
they're praising it, it's terrible. If they're saying it's terrible, it's great. That's the only rule of thumb you can go with this right now. Moving over to video game stuff, because the rest of the stuff isn't really that important, or we've already talked about it. Another Metroid game is coming into fruition. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, after 7 long years and multiple developers, Metroid Prime 4 has officially shown footage and given a 2025 release. There's really been no other prominent details about it, but it's going to be for the Switch. And
we'll see. It depends on if they announce a new Switch, and then next thing you know, it's going to be for the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be. But this thing was announced
I have a giant actual Metroid.
I love that. It's one of my favorite series. It's one of the first major big games that I ever played on the Nintendo when I was younger. They showed this thing off and they announced it in 2017 at E3.
Yeah.
So not only 7 years, but E3 doesn't even exist anymore. Like that's how long this has been going on. I have it pre-ordered on Amazon since then, and it's just sitting in my pre-order because it's just never gonna send. So we'll see.
Other Switch news: Luigi's Mansion 2. 3 was on the Switch already, and 3 was fantastic. But this is 2. Got an upgrade and everything is coming to the Switch on June 27th. So next week you'll be able to buy it. Is it downloadable and physical copy?
Course.
Okay.
I don't know about physical. They've been kind of doing these downloadable things and not putting it out, but I'm assuming we'll get a physical copy.
Because I will download that. I'm still playing Mario 3D and Wonder. I'm only on that first section of Wonder I got to go through.
It's a fun game.
I know. I just been playing everything else.
I downloaded RPG
working,
and I still
so I haven't had a
played
chance. I'm sorry, what?
I downloaded RPG and then I think the other Mario one that they put out, and
once was enough playing them on the 64 and the GameCube, and I'm done with those.
Well, my biggest issue, I did all this, I bought them, I downloaded them digitally, and then I ended up getting a Steam Deck. So I've been putting a lot of time and effort into getting like Steam games and playing like Kingdom Hearts.
Too many options, too many things to play, and not enough time to sit down and play them all.
Exactly.
Also coming out for the Switch, Super Mario Paint.
Oh, Party, sorry.
Yeah, Super Mario Party Jamboree set its release date for October 17th of this year. It's going to take place on an enormous island resort and features 5 new games, game boards, 2 boards from previous games, over 110 mini games, and a Coupathlon mode that supports over 20 players and so much more. That's a lot. So that's a fully sized Super Mario Party coming to the Switch. And the biggest news for Nintendo Switch, brand new Zelda game, Legend of Zelda.
No, this was coming. Like, usually you hear rumblings, and did not see this one coming.
Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is set to come out on September 26th for the Nintendo Switch, but in this game you're playing as Princess Zelda trying to save Link, because that's where we're at. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
It's got the same art style as the remake of Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
So it's that top-down, like, isometric view.
It's almost like Super Nintendo-ish. Yeah.
It's cute. Like and it's funny. It's like I don't really think about that whole representation bit that everyone tries to cry about, and
I don't
women
care
can do
about
this.
that.
I don't notice it as much until I show my daughter this exact thing, and her eyes lit up at the idea that she gets to be Zelda. I'm like, all right, this is who that's for.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Zelda. I mean, I've got the Triforce. I mean, it's one of my favorite video game franchises. But to see her getting the interest in it based off this, like, I've got her playing some of the other games, but she never finishes them.
Right.
This I see. She's already asked me to get it for her. Like, this is what it's for, and I'm happy to have it. It looks fun, and it'll be just another one I throw into my collection. So
into your collection.
Throw away.
Okay. I spent the money and I threw the whole Switch out.
Right in the trash.
I got you, Nintendo. It's like, no, you really didn't. You paid them the money. They don't care what you did with it after the fact. And then finally, for video game updates, Marvel vs. Capcom. Do you remember the old Nintendo Entertainment Systems? The cartridges were like blue, I think. Right?
Yeah.
The special edition one. So that series goes back 40 years.
There's a lot,
as a video game series. So now there's a new one coming called the Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. Brings X-Men, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and the Punisher under one Switch property.
That's going to be fun.
That is going to be worth the price tag for all of that. It'll be released later this year. We don't have an exact date, but it includes original songs from the arcade release, developmental docs, and never before seen artwork for that. So if you liked all that stuff, that is a must get for you, and do all of that. All right, we are done. We need to get out of here, so we need to do the plugs. And as always, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
You can come check me out on my other show, I'll Watch It Later podcast, anywhere you can find your podcasts, especially on YouTube. We now have video and all our audio on there. I'll Watch It Later podcast there. Instagram at Watch Later Pod. This weekend, we're going to be watching a movie that I forget the title of.
That's usually what you do.
It's Scott's pick. Who cares? He just throws a dart. He finds a winner.
After him poo-pooing Brazilian steakhouses, I can't trust his movie selections.
Yeah, well, he just guesses. But last week we watched my pick, which was terrible but awesome at the same time. Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper.
I don't know that one.
And then the week after the next, 2 weeks from now, we're doing our snack show. So come check us out. We're going to eat a bunch of cool stuff, and Eric will find more clips to play of Aaron.
Well, maybe I'll pop in if you find a way to get it going. I'll pop in on that show and give them the what for on Brazilian Rodizio.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
Because they need to be learned. For me and the show, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening through Apple, Spotify, any of those fine outlets, do us a kindness. Go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you could, tell your friends, tell two friends so you can tell two friends. No, the board's unplugged. Well, whatever, fine. So you just tell your friends, and that's what happens. That's how the show grows. And if you want to watch the show live each and every week as we do this program over on YouTube and on Twitch for our live rooms, both under the moniker It's Eric Nagel. And if you're on the audio and you missed the video version of this, it's all produced in a nice little package on our YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe. It does help us out. And
it's all a nice little package.
Nice little package.
We need that drop.
I'm going to have to pull that one too. All right. That is it. Next week will be our big 10th anniversary show. We've got lots of cameos being made. I got to go pull some clips. I have artwork. I have some music. I have old logos. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's coming for next week. It's going to be what the kids call a hoot. So please come and join us. And with that being said, until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
And have a wonderful time. That was Gittle's thing. We'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
I gotta go. Huge laugh.
I gotta go.
Huge rolling in the aisle laugh.
All right, I'll do it.
Good. Get out of here, you big successful talk show host.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.